Hello, board members. How we doing this lovely, lovely Puzzle Sunday? Well, I hope. As it's Puzzle Sunday, and I don't feel like I'm dying, we are going to be returning to the world of murders on the Yangtze River, where we are currently at the book repository where the first murdered guy had his books published, but then we might have fallen asleep or we're having some kind of fever dream or something. And in that fever dream, we are actively investigating our brother's murder, where we're trying to figure out some of the weird stuff going on with it, in regards to like the physics of some of that stuff, and how the dagger like got him in from the like skylight, even though the skylight hasn't been open and stuff like that. So it's been a little bit of a thing, I would say. But welcome, I swear I'm not an elk if you're still here, and welcome, Ika. Enjoy your D&D, Ika. May your may your paladin horse forever kick in a holy-like way. Alright. But yeah, there's us investigating our brother's murder with the daggers from the ceiling thing. Looks like we want this one? Yes, this one's 28 seconds later, I guess. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Breakthrough. Welcome, Afu. Oh, okay. We're literally just picking up right after we've been woke up. Okay. Shin, I found the manuscript. The manuscript being the one that might have clues about our brother's murder. Since it was a locked room mystery, people aren't really supposed to know about it, but somehow the writer wrote a whole book, a whole short story about it. And they're tried to talk to him, and then he was murdered. And now they've gone to look at his manuscript to see if there's any notes or anything in it about how he found out about this, since no one should know about it, really. Except for, like, the 2 cops involved in the investigation. I think I just fell asleep? Why are you sweating so much? Yes, it's already dawn outside. Mr. Shen, while you were sleeping, I searched through all the shelves and finally found that book. Oh, yeah, should I? Okay. I'm trying to make sure I realize I didn't check to make sure the mic's working. Praise me, says the Pikachu. Hizili, quickly bring the book to Mr. Shen. Also, we debated about, well, I personally debated about whether or not this lady looks like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and 2 weeks ago, I posted photos of Ruth Bader Ginsburg next to this woman in the Discord. I think they look pretty similar. Mr. Shen, it seems that Lo Pei borrowed inspiration from this novel. Death Under the Susian, written by Cyanosora? Cyanosora? It's not Sayonara, right? Almost sounds like a dinosaur with the Sura at the end, but... Knowledge unlocked. Little world note. Not for my grandfather's urgent letter, I wouldn't have returned to this ancestral hall. The old door knocker is covered in molten rust, just like the stench of lacquer on my uncle's. What? Lucre? That's... The old door knocker is covered in molten rust, just like the stench of Lucre on my uncle's. I don't remember... Did we talk about Lucre? My aunt would boast to everyone about the phonograph her son brought back from studying abroad. Actually, just a little loud. Turn that down just a smidge. It is said to have recordings of famous opera singers she intended to show off in the ceremony. Uncle was killed. He was stabbed to death during the ancestral ceremony. That's a locked room, and the only key is with him. Besides the body, the 7-star lamp and the singing machine captured everyone's attention. Was my uncle killed by the 7-star lamp, or bewitched by the sound of the machine? I re-examined the scene, and indeed, it was locked. It was a locked room. The phonograph, now out of tune, seemed eerie. Could it really be the work of spirits? The killer used a sky lantern to lift the murder weapon up to the Cassian? I'm assuming this is some kind of Chinese skylight term. The discordant phonograph exposed the fishing line, solving the locked room mystery. But how many times must the tragedy under this Cassian repeat, like the cycle of this roller? A piece of paper on the back cover, which says eastern end of Gutang Street, Shaobo Town. Shin, how is it? Any discoveries? The locked room, the phonograph, the sky lantern, the Big Dipper. Big Dipper? Okay. These descriptions are consistent with the scene where my brother was killed. The room in the book lacks a skylight, yet has a roof, says he, and both serve the same purpose. Okay. The fishing line was replaced with Morse code paper strip. Compared to Lopez's novel, this manuscript is even closer to the scene of my brother's death. It's as if the author has experienced it personally. Are the other details of the scene also the same? In the novel, the crime took place in a hall, while the London case occurred in a study room. There are other differences in the layout of the two scenes. However, these differences are irrelevant to the case. The only difference in the case is the manner of death. The manner of death? In the book, the victim is killed by a falling dagger while kneeling beneath the Cassian. Oh, it's like a lamp thing. Okay. The weapon plunged into his back, and his body did not show any signs of contortion. What does this difference mean? That was a long one. Alright, that was a long one. I don't know. Mr. Shin, as I listened to your discussion, I suddenly had some ideas. Please share your thoughts. I remember Sharanovsky once said, art comes from life and goes beyond it. Oh, Sharanovsky here. As a writer, I understand how authors often draw inspiration for reality for their stories. Since the plot of this book bears a striking resemblance to the case you are investigating, I think the author must be someone who knows about the case, right? Alive. Thank you, Pikachu. Do the two of you happen to know who Sayasora is? I've never heard of this name. The author only left his pen name, and I don't know his real identity either. But Ruth, does the author have any other works? No, this is the only submission from Sayasora. Is there any other work with a similar writing style? Perhaps the author has other pen names. While this book has a clever concept, the writing style is still inexperienced. The author seems more like a novice rather than someone who regularly writes novels. What about the handwriting? I think I've seen some manuscripts with similar handwriting. This is a transcribed copy from an archiving, and the original has been returned to the author. The address to which the manuscript was returned then should still be available, right? It's been a long time, and the publishing house has relocated. These records are no longer available. Perhaps this part of the book can help us find the author. Oh, the front cover, the back cover. On the back cover is a piece of paper saying eastern end of the Gutang Street, Shaobo Town. This does look like Piching's handwriting. And Shu, do you know about this address? No, but you've reminded me of something. Ching mentioned she'd found some of the rejected author's addresses and planned to visit them. Shin, let's hurry and go visit the addresses left by Miss Liu. Who knows? Sayasora might just live there. Okay, let's go and have a look. May I borrow this manuscript for now? Of course. If there is anything else I can help with, feel free to ask. Goodbye, goodbye. Here we are at the east end of Guntang Street, Shaobo Town. Let's go in and take a look. Oh. Jin, this place seems to have been abandoned for a long time. Could it be that the author, Sayasora, has already moved away? Judging from its decorations and layout, it is not a residential house, but an ancestral hall. Ancestral hall? He wouldn't be living in a hall, would he? Let's find out. Okay. And there's the door. Wait. Right couplet. The right part of the couplet, the handwriting is already blurred. Continuing the family line, fragment for generations to come sincerely. Oh, I guess it's this thing on the wall. Altar. Shen, is the large table in the middle the altar? Yes, the stairway on the top is where the ancestral tablets are placed for worship. Okay. Couplet. Left part of a couplet on which it is written, holding the candle, carrying on the ancestor's light, illuminating the virtue. Okay. Two fallen chairs. They don't seem to have anything special about them. Okay. T12, welcome. The wooden door at the entrance of the ancestral hall. The plaque on the door reads, De Shaun Kya, morality, obedience, and filial piety. Shouldn't the door of the ancestral hall usually be in the center? Why is it on the right side? Perhaps there are some feng shui considerations for this arrangement. What a coincidence. The door on the ancestral hall in the novel is also on the right side. Afu, have you noticed the Cassian above us? But to say, this looks very similar to the room you were describing before. But T12, how you doing? Hopefully you're having a good day. Turns out we were in fact dreaming. There were no ghosts. Sadly, again, that's twice now I've gotten my hopes up that there's going to be ghosts in this. The Cassian? I don't know how to pronounce that word if it's pronounced differently than that. Look up. Dun dun. Oh. This is a relatively rare octagonal Cassian, almost identical to the description in the book. I looked up and saw the layers of vaults towering like the sky. It's not over yet? That's true. We're not done yet. We could still get a ghost. We might still find out that that thing that's living in our head is in fact a ghost and not just some weird split personality disorder. So we'll see. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. I'm still excited to see some ghosts. I want to see what a Chinese historical ghost looks like. Very curious. The center of the vault is a Tai Chi pattern. The two yin and yang fish seem to be alive. Really? Really, it is exactly like that. That's not... I guess they're calling these fish. Could it be the case described in the novel actually occurred here? It's hard to say. Ms. Wu once said that the art originates from life. The author probably gained inspiration from here and incorporated it into the story. Ms. Liu also found this place through the description in the novel. It's highly possible. Shin, it seems that there are words on this wooden board. There's a lot of dust on the wooden board. We need to wipe it off first. I mean, should I be a little careful with this? Or does it... Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay. I was worried, like, if I moved too fast, it would cause some kind of issue or something. Alright, if I spoke Chinese, I'm sure I could read this pretty clearly now, right? To know gratitude and pay gratitude. Oh, the plaque on the ceiling beam has fallen off. Underneath these 4 big characters, there's also a list of names. Bright Wu, William Wu, Robert... Oh my god, it's still Wu's? It ties back into those Wu people? All surnamed Wu. It seems like this place is the Wu family's ancestral hall? Melissa Wu, Rentley? Stone Wu? Stone Wu? Shin, is there something wrong with Stone Wu? Wasn't this one of your, like, friends in college? Maybe. Yes, I have seen the name Stone Wu on your board. He is one of the suspects in the case. Stone Wu, is it him? The atmosphere here is so sinister. You two come in without permission. Be careful, or you may face a bloody disaster. Uh-oh. Look at this troublemaking fool. This guy's definitely gonna be trouble, right? Fortunately, you two are also fortunate to encounter me. Demigod Hessie. Hasai? Hasai. Let me help you calculate how to avoid bad luck. What do you think? You're also an intruder here, aren't you? No, not at all. I'm very familiar with this place and know how to handle the situation. I know you were trying to trick us into fortune-telling and make us pay, don't you? My friend, this is all about fate and destiny. Offer 5 copper coins and light a candle during a small merit for this matter will suffice. Okay, Mr. Sai. I'll give you 10 coins, but you don't have to tell my fortune. Whatever, Shin. It's your money, I guess. Give me this candle, blind old man. I'll hit you. Afu's not afraid to hit a blind old man. May I know what you need? Consideration, rituals, dream interpretation, feng shui consultation? Just a couple of questions. Great, feel free to ask your questions. Do you know the owner of this hall? Sure, he's Wu Shiming, head of the Wu family. I calculated the martial destiny for his grandsons. But they moved to Shanghai a few years ago. This ancestral hall has been abandoned ever since. Does the Wu family have anyone who is good at writing books? Most Wus are good at business, but the 3rd grandson of Mr. Wu, Wu Sung-a-Tao, is a scholar, but I heard that he went abroad for further studies. So it is indeed him. What a coincidence. A month ago, a young lady came by and asked me the same question. Oh, that must have been Lady Lai or whatever. The lady you mentioned have a round face, short hair, and wore black-framed glasses? Yes, that's right. Oh, you know each other. Wait, he's not blind? His eyes have been shut this whole time, so I assumed he was, like, blind or something. Okay, I guess he's not blind. Did she say anything else? She said she is an editor at the publishing house. Wu Sung-a-Tao submitted a book 7 years ago, and she thought it was written very well. 7 years ago? Yes, that's what she said. So, that's how it is. My friend, your forehead is darkened. You are in danger. Want me to teach you how to avoid it? Phew, yuck, ugh. Just to his face. Just to his face. Just, oh god, no. Get away from me, you weirdo. Oh, get him, Afu, get him. His vision is augmented? I guess, but you can't augment your vision so well as not to need to open your eyes to see things. Shin, are you having a headache again? Shall I help you to rest? No rush. Let's first go back to the publishing house. I need to confirm some information. 4 hours later, inside the Chinese cabin. Oh, they're back on the ship. Shen, are you really not going to rest for a while? My mind is in turmoil and I can't sleep either. Alright, I can't argue with you. Well, when that fortune teller mentioned 7 years ago, you seemed quite shocked, didn't you? Lopez's book, The Confined Room Mystery, was published after my brother's murder case. I was always believed that the author of the book knows about the case. However, Death Under the Cessian was written 7 years ago, much earlier than my brother's case. That means the author of the novel may not necessarily be related to the crime. Instead, the real culprit might have imitated the novel when committing the crime? The culprit is someone who has read this novel? More accurately, it is someone who knows the content of the novel. This book was rejected and did not get published. In theory, when the case occurred, only the author, editor, and transcriber knew about the book. Of course, it is also possible that the author may have shown the manuscript to other people. At the publishing house, we confirmed the editor and the transcriber had never traveled abroad. They also insisted that they had not mentioned the content of the book to anyone else. So the next step would be to confirm with the author. It seems that there is still a strong suspicion toward Stone Wu. But Stone had left London and returned to China the day before the case occurred. Wasn't a delay device discovered at the scene? That device could only delay the time for a dozen minutes, certainly not up to a day. Moreover, on the morning of the case, many people had seen my brother. The alibi of Stone Wu must have been forged. Actually, after I came back from London, I went to Shanghai to meet with Stone. He seemed perfectly fine and even presented his ship ticket and departure records as evidence. The documents indeed appeared to be genuine. Over the years, I have speculated on the possibility of Stone Wu being the culprit, but I haven't found any loopholes or inconsistencies. Indeed, if Stone is truly the culprit, how did he manage to do it? Nevertheless, we should go to the Shanghai and ask him in person about this book. Absolutely. It feels like we're getting closer and closer to the truth. I swear I'm not an elk. Welcome back. Shen Chungping recently went to Yangzhou and found a manuscript in the publishing house. Okay, well that looks like the guy from the... Well, he looks familiar, but I don't know exactly who. A manuscript. It's said to be a novel, and Shen Xingping believes it's related to Stone Wu. He's on his way to Shanghai, probably to find Stone Wu. I see. Of course, you start as a relocate. Is he bald with a dimpled head, or is that Lego hair? Probably kind of Lego hair or something. I don't know what kind of haircuts we're getting here on people, you know? I don't know what was popular at the time, and I think we've seen some weird, like, you know, monk-style bowl cuts as it goes already. It's a good shot. That is a long, low boat. Hats off to you? Alright, what kind of hat do you want? The Confined Room Mystery, completed Chapter 5. Bovine, the most puzzling of farm animals. Alright, if you say so. It's getting late. Let's hurry and go to the Stone Wu's foreign goods store. Shanghai streets are so bustling. There are more cars on the street. Shen, do you know what time I like the most here? In the evening, because there's electricity. So guess what I want to do the most in Shanghai? Try the brand new Dang Dang tram? Shin, you truly know me. Alright. I can't control that dialogue. It just happened. So if I walked away, I wouldn't actually be able to read that one. bovine hat activated in the form of a hat that is also shaped like a cow. Okay, there we go. I just noticed that it almost muted me. It almost got me, but I double checked. Alright, let's continue. No signposts? No signposts. There's a lot of car horn. Wait, is that the same baby from our village? Or from that one village? Why are you here, village baby? Also, why is this same guy who's eating like a... I don't know, a giant cucumber or whatever here? Are they just reusing assets and there just happens to be another baby that has this weird haircut? I can't interact with any of these people or anything. Huh, isn't that Mr. Joseph over there? Daddy, Cece wants cola water. Okay, so it's not him since he doesn't have the goatee. Denied. You've had too much today. Wah wah, Daddy won't get Cece the cola water. Cece, don't cry. When we get to Grandpa's house, he'll make tea for you. Wah 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 wah. Cece doesn't want to drink tea, just wants the cola water. Why did I have children again? Immediately picks them up and just throws them in front of the tram. Long time no see, Joseph. What are you doing? John? Afu? Please wait a moment, Cece. She's feeling a bit emotional. Cece, this is a kaleidoscope I made myself. Do you want to take a look? Something that entertained me in this time period where that's pretty rare? Wow, there are flowers dancing inside. It's amazing. If you like it, I'll give it to you. John, I heard that you went to Hunan. Why did you suddenly come to Shanghai? There have been some new discoveries in my brother's case. It's been over 3 years. And you're still persisting. The clues we found this time are related to Stone Wu. I want to question him again. Stone Wu. He has recently caused a lot of trouble, and the police have always been watching him. Have also been watching him. Mr. Lion, look. This is a gift from Mr. Scarecrow. Mr. Lion? Congratulations. You found a Scarecrow friend. And he said he'll go to the marvelous land of Oz with me. Okay. Oh, but all I have is in my head is straw. It's okay. We can go to the Emerald City and ask the wizard to give you a brain. That's great. Then I can learn how to think. Mr. Lion, now we should head to Mr. Woodsman's place. Sure, Mr. Ginger is also waiting for you there. John, I need to take Cece to her grandfather's house first. We can talk about this later. No problem. We can talk about it another day. That is a lot of... a continuing amount of car horns considering... Oh, there's some actual cars, finally. Shit, it seems like Mr. Joseph has no way to deal with Cece at all. This is what they call... Each thing has its master. I don't know that term. Anyway, he's gone. Run, Afu, run! Just sprints in the other direction. Foreign goods store. I assume this is some kind of snack food? I'm gonna assume that's some kind... Oh, let's hurry and go to the foreign goods store to find Stone Wu. But they just said he's been arrested or whatever. Hold on. Let's look at some of these factoids. What do we got down here? Oh, we missed Jack the Ripper. The most notorious serial killer in the world. Sure. In 1888, he murdered multiple women in the Whitechapel area of London using extremely brutal methods. The victims were all strangled and had their abdomens cut open, with organs removed. During the killing spree, Jack taunted the police and newspapers by sending them letters, causing a great panic in British society at the time. Over a century has passed since the case, but due to a lack of evidence, the identity of the true culprit and the actual motive behind the crimes remains highly debated. That's pretty true. The Sassoon family. The Sassoon family is a prominent family of Iraq Jewish heritage. In August 1833, when the British Parliament abolished the East India Company's monopoly on trade with China, the Sassoon family took this opportunity to put a large quantity of cotton textiles and opium into China. During Lin Zhao's campaign to suppress the opium trade in inhuman, about half of that's probably a typo. About half of the opium seized from the Sassoon family. Following the signing of the Treaty of Nanking, the Sassoon family established several foreign firms in Shanghai. In the early days of the newly established Sassoon & Co., an average of 5,000 chests of opium flowed into Shanghai each year. Wow, okay. Chernovsky. Nikolai Chernovsky, a Russian materialist philosopher and one of the authors of the progressive magazine The Contemporary, criticized the Tsarist government and actively spread ideas about a peasant revolution. At the age of 27, in his work The Aesthetic Revelations of Art to Reality, he proposed materialist views such as beauty is life and art stems from life, challenging the then-dominant idealist aesthetics of Hegel. He revealed the dependent relationship of beauty to life, which had profound influences on later generations. So you're the artsy one, huh? The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz is a children's fantasy novel by American L. Frank Baum, published in 1900. It tells the story of a young girl named Dorothy who is swept away by a tornado to the land of Oz, where she meets the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Woodman without a heart, and the Scarecrow without a brain. Together, they journey to the Emerald City to find the wizard, each hoping to fulfill their own desires. The book's imaginative world is met with critical acclaim upon release, and its adaptation into a Broadway stage play in 1902 was also a resounding success. Fair enough. Ooh, okay. Oh, they actually explain what this thing is. Kind of ceiling structure in traditional Chinese architecture, which makes the building ceiling concave upwards like a well. The walls are decorated with algae patterns, hence the name Cassian. It is generally composed of multi-layer arch of wooden architecture, which shrinks from bottom to top to form an inverted bucket shape. It's commonly found at the top of architectural structures such as grottos, temples, and palaces. Fair. I'm pronouncing it wrong. I know I have to be. There's no way it's called a Cassian or whatever, but... Okay. Alright, let's go into the foreign goods store. Oh, store owner. Miss Lee, looking at your skin with a slightly oily sheen, you must try the rose white powder water. Oil and grease vanish, instantly shining bright. Skin hydrated, blossoming with delight. Wow, she looks... She's so offended. Do I look oily? No, not at all. But oh, sun is the nemesis of non-oily skin. The sun in Shanghai is scorching. If you're not careful, you'll be tanned like charcoal. Why not try the Tender Essence, leaving your skin tender, fair as snow, and radiant? Are you saying my skin is too dark? Dude, you don't know what you're doing. Fair, very fair. Miss Lee, you're a natural beauty. Even the best products can only enhance it. Mr. Wu, I heard you have a new recipe for rose water. Can you show it to me? Unfortunately, the rose water sold out, but would you try our jasmine powder? It's loved a lot. Okay, sure. Uh-oh. Does she not? Oh my god, is this like an ex-girlfriend of Shen's? Chengping, what a rare guest. Ting Hasing, take care of Miss Lee for me. Okay, okay. Wow, she looks very sickly. Miss Lee, if you have any questions, just ask me. What brought you here, I wonder? Still about my brother's case, there are some things I want to consult about. Your brother and I were close friends. If there's anything I can help with, just say it. Mr. Stone, do you still remember the east end of Shaboa Gaunting Street? That's my family's old ancestral temple. How did you know about it? Ah, it must be Brian. That temple used to be quite magnificent, but now it's all abandoned. We finally found you. Sinosora. What was that? The author of the book Death Under the Cassian. Sinosora, that's you, right? You must be kidding. I have no clue about writing a book. Will you have any relatives by chance that might know something? Namaste. Sergeant Sanai, your presence brings radiance to my humble store. Redhead policeman. What? Sergeant Sanai. Police inspection. Get out of the way. Shh. Sergeant, this is a small business. Please don't disturb the guests. I've already prepared the items you need. They are in the study. And why are we still here? Chongping, I need to attend to Sergeant Sai first, so I will come back to visit tomorrow. Ziryu Shin Chengping. Yes, it's me. Do you know me? You did a good job on that case in Haiyang. The sergeant even knows about the case in Haiyang. Ironworks? Are there still people in Shanghai who don't know the name Shin Chengping? That article in Shanghai News has become the talk of the city. Shin, you've become famous. Alright, let's get down to business. Sergeant Sai, please come this way. Shin, since we cannot visit Stone Wu today, how about we go eat something? Yeah, I found out the scallion oil noodles at the hotel we're staying at are really good. How did you find out about that? Who were you talking to when I wasn't around? Shin, my stomach, is so full, I can't move. Guess who ate a whole 8 treasured duck after finishing the noodles? It's all because the duck at the neighboring table smelled so good. Yawn, I feel so sleepy after eating so much. Wait, why are we back in this outfit? Who is it? Huh? I'll go take a look. Yeah, why are we in this outfit? Maybe he changed clothes to be in his, like, Shanghai outfit or something. Someone left a note. Unavailable this afternoon. Meet at 8 p.m. in the study of my store. Come alone. Is it Stone Wu inviting you? Why in this way? Get some sleep. I'll go check. Go early. Come back early. Odd. Wait, did we unlock something? Wait, what was the other thing we unlocked? Oh, the redhead policeman. Redhead policeman refers to the Indian Sikh patrolmen in the former Shanghai International Settlement who were often seen wearing red turbans, hence the name redhead policeman. Sheiks are generally tall and have dark skin. Okay. They were introduced in the Hong Kong police force in the mid-19th century to combat crimes. After the outbreak of the Sino-French War, the relationship between the Shanghai Municipal Council, the ruling agency in Shanghai International Settlement, and the local Chinese became more delicate. In order to appease the concerns of overseas Chinese while controlling costs, redhead policemen began to appear in the streets and alleys of Shanghai. That's interesting. What's also really odd is this guy's face. Like, this looks like a pretty realistic photo. But this looks like they, like, tried to edit this for some reason. Like, they tried to edit a guy into this photo. Or something. I don't know. This is a really odd whatever this is. Huh. Also... Okay, yeah, it's saying this is equipped. So maybe it's in this particular scene. Oh yeah, we have extra outfits for you? Oh, I didn't realize we had other outfits for these two. See, that looks a little too warm for what's going on. Let's go casual with the short, like the lighter sleeves and just a vests thing. Oh, she also has like a big puffy jacket. I think she can just stay where she's at, honestly. So yeah, this must be like... This outfit must be required for this scene for some reason. How far down can I go? Not that far. Okay. It's almost 8 o'clock. I shall go to the foreign goods store for the appointment right now. I'm a little concerned. First cabinet on the right. Cabinet contains various bottles, each filled with distilled water from different brands. Okay, distilled table water. Soda advertisement. There's an advertisement for a Watson's Cola Water. Cola water, strong flavor as refreshing as nectar. Second. Various items loved by ladies are displayed on this cabinet. There are the popular Shagami brand snowflake paste and fragrant floral water. Rose whitening water, beauty liquid, and flower water. Oh, okay, at least we get to know what some of that is, because I have no idea. Bronze statue. On the counter, there's copper human body models, presumably used to demonstrate human anatomy. That's supposed to be... That feels like a more of a artistic representation of a body than a scientific one, but okay. There's a light on. Study? Zhongwu, are you there? I can't move. I'm Xin Chengping, here for the appointment. It's not even 8 o'clock yet. I'll wait for him in the study. Uh-oh. Are we just walking on another murder? Left file cabinet. The cabinet also contains some careful preserved calligraphy and paintings, as well as a safe. Side cabinet. On the cabinet, there is a hat and a stack of documents. Oh, that's the front one. Okay. Right cabinet. Various documents and a few photographs are displayed on the cabinet. There's a photo of my brother and Stone Wu. Judging from my brother's attire, it must have been taken 7 or 8 years ago. I guess I'm assuming that's what this little one is. Because these do not look like anything, except why is this one upside down? Desk. A complete set of delicate tea utensils is placed on the desk. Next to the tea utensils, there is a key. On the right side of the desk, there is a stack of documents with a sticky note on top. Sticky note? I mean, I don't think sticky notes like we know them was around in the 1920s, but maybe they were. Looks like a sectoid? What? Oh, yeah. You're talking about from XCOM. Yeah, that's what that bronze statue looked like. It did look like a sectoid, you're right. If I saw that walking down the street, I'd be like, oh, well, something weird's about to happen, because that is definitely not a guy. Yeah, that's a good call-out. That's a good call-out. Huh? What? What is this? This document is... The Shanghai Enigma, Chapter 6. I guess they don't lock the doors around Shanghai in the 1920s. Oh! As casually as they were playing that, I halfway expected to just like try to open the doors and then just an explosion would go off. Where's the murder though? I think we're about to find it right now, T12. Murder! It's murder! See, right here, right now. It's so noisy outside. What's happening? Shin hasn't returned all night. I should go out and take a look. Oh, we get to play as Afu now. Thou raised. Where is Shin? Where is Shin? He received a note and did not return all night after leaving. Stone Wu was to meet Shin at his store last night. Shin didn't return to the hotel at all. Suspicious that you knew there was a murder coming. In this murder-solving puzzle module, we somehow knew there was a murder coming? Super sus. I have to go to the foreign goods store and see what's going on. I need to go to the foreign goods store. Oh, I'm gonna go play some Heck Divers 2. How did you know there was gonna be aliens shooting in Heck Divers 2? I want to call out this baby and this guy with the giant thing. He's still here. They're still here. Shouting them out again. It's confusing. It's concerning. Okay, this is a cutscene. The baby did it. Officer, what happened in this foreign goods store? It's none of your concern. Mind your own business. Whoa, alright. My friend had a meeting here last night with someone. He hasn't returned yet. I'm really worried about him. Can you let me go in and have a look? We're investigating a case. Go elsewhere to find your friend. Officer, my friend's name is Shin Chengping. He's a detective featured in the newspaper. I'm his assistant. You can't come in. That's final. Even if your friend is the Emperor himself, it's still not allowed. And can you tell me what kind of case happened inside? Maybe Shin and I can provide some clues. It's a murder case. The victim is a man wearing glasses. Aww! Oh my god, if this is the hard twist, as it turns out, they've killed Shin and now we just play as Afu for the rest of this? I would be amazed. This would get an A from me for this twist alone. If they have the raw gumption to go through and kill the main character and have you play as, like, the funny sidekick for the rest of the module once you get, like, 2/3 of the way through, I would give them just a solid A+. That was raw gumption that you do not see much these days in the response in like learning modules like this. I'm guessing it's gonna turn out to be Stone Wu, because he also wears glasses, but man, the raw power if they did end up killing the main character. What did the victim look like? Another annoying reporter. No, that's not true. I'm worried that the victim might be my friend. Don't think I can't see through you. No interviews, get lost. But, do you have a photo? One more word and I'll detain you. Doubt updated. Mind Palace. The murder occurred in the foreign goods store. I need to find out the details of the case. There was a homicide inside the foreign goods store. The deceased couldn't be Shin, could it? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Shin must have gone to investigate alone. My fault. I shouldn't have eaten so much last night. I should have accompanied Shin to the appointment. No matter what, I have to figure out what happened first. Okay, I can't interview her. Do you know anything? No? I went downstairs. Have you confirmed Shin's murder yet? No. It's still speculation right now. I heard there was a murderer. Really? That's so scary. Aren't you going to watch it? Why don't you go? I've been in line and it'll be my turn. So have I. I love that they were having a generic conversation just in the area, since it didn't actually follow any one person in this line, which might be going in a circle. Yeah, I think it's literally just people are coming out, and then the, the models, I think, are just coming and getting back in line. Wow. My turn for murder? What? Oh, they're waiting in line to go into this store. And they're talking about, like, are you going to go check out the murder? And he's like, no, I'm in line. It's my turn next in the line. Oh, it's the reporter lady. Oh, there's the villain. It's Watson? Wait, what? This is the friend's dad, right? In fact, even if someone gets the formula, it wouldn't have a substantial impact on business. Because they were working on a formula to break, to help people get out of being addicted to opium, I think, right? I heard Watson Group set up a large reward for clues about the Shanghai Phantom. Is this true? More precisely, it's the policemen have issued the reward for collecting clues about the thief. The reward is actually provided by Watson Group. Believe that this will not only help maintain public safety, but also demonstrate Watson Group's support and commitment to social order. So how effective has the reward been? Unfortunately, we cannot disclose too much information at the moment. The police are fully dedicated to the investigation, and I have faith in their professionalism. Once there is substantial progress, they will announce it promptly. Thank you for your time. Looking forward to the next meeting. I'm looking forward to it as well. Watson Group offers a hefty reward for the arrogant Shanghai Phantom. That's not what he said, but okay. How about this? Go Shin. Afu, calm down. Take your time. What happened to Mr. Shen? Shen may have been murdered. What? Mr. Shen was murdered? Last night, Shin went alone to Stone Foreign Goods store, and he didn't come back all night. This morning, I found the store was surrounded by the police. There was a murder case inside. The victim was a man wearing glasses. Don't worry, let's head to the scene to gather information. Afu doesn't do well alone with things. Oh look, it's the Phantom Magic Brigade. Weren't we supposed to go to the store to inquire about Mr. Shen? Why are we at the theater? I went in the wrong direction. Sorry, I panicked. Afu seems like a liability and not a very good assistant. Well, it's one of those things where, like, the line is long enough to reach Changpai Temple. Do I, as a VIP, also need to wait in line? You do. Wait, IP? You should be Watson instead. Well, I mean, we're dealing with the Watson family, so that's kind of the joke I think they're setting up with that. But no, Afu's... Oh, something's happening. Why are you staying there? The police officer is still there at the door. He had driven me away earlier. If I go now, he will definitely recognize me. I got it. Wait here for me. Be careful, Koshin. He seems to dislike journalists a lot. Don't worry. There's nothing I can't find out. I think it's one of those things where Afu is... He's a little goofy, but he has so much technical knowledge that really helps fill in the gaps that Shin doesn't have. So he's more of a mechanist assistant than a Afu is Gumshoe a little bit. He's meant to be the comic relief in this, right? In the same way that Gumshoe is kind of the comic relief, but I much prefer Afu to Gumshoe. Gumshoe is just a little too weird for my taste. Afu just seems like he means well, but he just really likes to eat. Like, he's a little immature, is Afu's deal. Whereas Gumshoe seems to just be like, I want to be a detective, even though I'm so bad at it is actively letting murderers potentially get away with murder. Where Afu's like, man, I sure am hungry, and I'm only like 17. I'm gonna go eat some food. Even though he should be investigating like a crime or something a little bit. Like, it's one of those kind of things, I think. The on-duty officer is Officer Lai Ko from the Central Police Department. He gave me good news and bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? As all 17-year-olds should be doing. Well, I mean, most 17-year-olds are pretty hungry, I would say, yeah. Whether they eat enough, that's a different story, but most are usually hungry. At least men. I can't speak to a 17-year-old lady, because I've never been a 17-year-old lady. No, I meant solving crime. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's the Scooby-Doo effect, right? All teenagers at least a couple of times during their teenage years have to solve a murder of somebody, or a crime, or a disappearance, or something. Let's hear the bad news. I always do bad news first. Oh no, let's actually hear the good news first. The victim of the shooting case at the foreign goods store is not Mr. Shen. Oh, Mr. Shen is definitely the culprit then. Thank goodness, thank goodness. And the bad news is, the victim is Stone Wu, owner of the store. Officer Lee has no idea where Mr. Shen is. It's him. Earlier, you said Mr. Shen went to the store last night for an appointment to meet Stone Wu? Yes, Stone Wu is a crucial witness. Could it be that Shen went alone to catch the murderer? Does Mr. Shen often leave without informing others and go after criminals alone? This is the first time something like this has happened since we have known each other. Officer Lee said the body was found by the assistant Ting Hasing when he... Okay, that's gotta be a setup for a... That's definitely a joke or something. Ting Hasing? That's definitely a joke. They offer $200 per crime solved with evidence to 17-year-olds only, and they can make their year to get rich. Wow, what a senior event to have, right? It's like, oh man, I turned 17. Next year's my junior year. I get to finally solve my first crime, and if I do it right, I get $200 from the police. It's great. Heck, at 17, I would have turned in ICA for his Abo hotel crimes. Yeah. Officer said the body was found by the assistant Ting Hasing when she arrived at 7 a.m. today. The body was found in the study room of the foreign goods store. Study room? They were supposed to meet in the study room of the foreign goods store. What exactly happened last night? Doubt. The mystery of the store. Afu, I have a bad feeling about this. What kind of feeling? In any case, we must find Mr. Shen as soon as possible. But Shanghai is so big, I don't even know where to begin with. Let's start by asking if anyone around here has seen him. Doubt, where is Shen? Inquire around to find out Shen's whereabouts from the people nearby. Shen, where should we go to inquire? In front of the street in Bell Building and Luckium Theater. Let's go there first and ask about the situation. Mystery of the... What exactly happened at Stone's foreign goods store last night? Shen disappeared after going to Stone's store for an appointment, while Stone Wu was killed. What exactly happened in the foreign goods store last night? Alright, so this is where a lot of the repeating stuff kind of comes up, is in this. I guess this way, if you forget what you're doing, you have a way to, like, kind of recall it. Ika, when you get back, go straight to jail. They're deep in the D&D mines right now. They don't have time for that. Distilled water. During the Qing Dynasty, distilled water was a luxury primarily enjoyed by the royal family due to its high production cost. For instance, when Emperor Kangxi brewed tea, he resorted to using distilled water in high-quality spring water was not available. This is because the groundwater in Beijing, the capital of the time, was severely polluted. In 1903, Watson introduced bottled distilled water. Initially, it was not available to the public, but was supplied directly to the official residences, high-end restaurants, and other elite establishments, becoming the preferred choice of water among the Manchu nobility, seen as befitting their status. Aren't you not supposed to drink distilled water? Isn't distilled water actually kind of bad for you? Because I've heard that because it's distilled, it doesn't have any of like the natural elements that you get from like water, normal water. So it kind of leaches some of your natural vitamins and stuff out of your body. Like the reason that they use spring water, just less minerals. Yeah, so I've heard that. That's why I'm saying like elements like what? Water? No, like not harmful, just not beneficial either. Oh, okay. Yeah, like it basically when water runs through rock and stuff, it picks up minerals and stuff. So when you drink it, those minerals get deposited back into your body. It's like, you know, how you sweat out certain things besides just water. Like, if you drink distilled water, there's no minerals in it. It's just water. So it's kind of like not as good for you as like spring water. Long as the spring water has been, you know, sanitized. I had heard that it's not good to drink distilled water, but I don't know exactly how good or bad for you it is. Distilled water is a strategy for if you're trapped with only salt water about. Evaporate, collect, drink. Right. That makes sense. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, if you were to take dirty water and then evaporate it into clean water, it would be distilled water. That makes sense. So yeah, I guess it wouldn't really hurt you to drink it. Better than not having it, right? Cosmetics in the late Qing dynasty. Foreign cosmetics were initially sold and distributed by foreign trading companies in China. In the 1860s, perfume like... Is that Florida water? Still better than dysentery? Yeah, it is. Way better. The history of people getting a hold of clean drinking water is absolutely bananas. The more I've heard about it from a couple of different sources, it's sort of insane. It basically was you just went and got what you hoped was clean water in hope it didn't give you dysentery. Or if it did give you dysentery, it was mild enough to not kill you. It's like, what? And then you find out, like, yeah, that's why people used to drink beer so much. It's because the water used in the beer making process was boiled, so it's actually much cleaner than just normal water. So you were actually less likely to get dysentery from it. I like to think opening a bottle of Florida water gives me a 50-50 chance of having a gator pop out. I mean, that would definitely be the mascot, right? Like, it'd just be like, huh, I heard this Florida water is really something. And then, like, he goes to open it, and as soon as he opens it, just a big gator in a, what do you call those? Mascot suit just busts through the wall like Kool-Aid style, and it's just like, don't you drink that normal style, you gotta drink it Florida style. And then, like, Florida style is like you shake it up and then, like, shotgun it or something crazy like that. And they just introduced Florida water with its Florida water drinking style. That's what I think of when I hear Florida. Florida water, it's just instead of the Kool-Aid man, it's a giant gator. It's just a big old alligator. It's been a while since I did an ad reading. Hold on. I'll hold on to it. All right. From the American company Landman. What? This just keeps getting weirder. Okay, so wait, let me read this again from the top. In the 1860s, perfumes like Florida water from the American company Landman and Landman and Kemp became popular. In the 1880s, foreign goods shops and foreign-owned pharmacies also began selling cosmetics. Products such as tooth powder and vanishing cream gained popularity. In the early 20th century, modern cosmetics like lipstick and eyebrow pencils entered the market. Foreign companies also started incorporating the image of classical Oriental women into their advertisements to showcase the effects of their products. I don't know. I don't like Oriental women. Asian. I think I would prefer Asian women, but... Alright. I mean, I didn't write this. This was a... As far as I'm aware, this was actually made by a Chinese company, so... Alright. So... Oh yeah, we want to go interview witnesses to see what happened to Shin. What are we queuing for? And why are you queuing here? Whatever, just queue. A little British humor on that one, I guess. Alright, here's the Bell Building. Lost cat notice. There's a lost cat notice posted on the wall. Aw. Have you seen this cat? It's written in both Chinese and English asking you if you've seen this cat. If you have any information, please contact me through the address provided below. I have now. I have now? If you still don't have any news about Shin, should I also consider posting a lost notice? Mr. Scarecrow, have you seen Mr. Ginger? Oh, is it her cat? Have you seen this cat? I have now. Yeah. It's a weird joke that he's like, yeah, there's an address at the bottom, and then it's actually just a bunch of, I have now. Replace Afu with the cat? That would be pretty funny. Cece, hi, but I haven't seen Mr. Ginger. Oh no, she's so sad. Her cat's gone. Mr. Scarecrow also hasn't seen Mr. Ginger. Cece will never see Mr. Ginger again. Cece, don't cry. I'm with Afu to find Mr. Shin, and I can help ask about Mr. Ginger's whereabouts for you. Thank you. When did Mr. Ginger go missing? It was last night. Last night again. Is this a coincidence? Can you describe Mr. Ginger's appearance? The missing Mr. Ginger. Mr. Ginger was wearing an orange shirt and had white gloves on. Okay. His eyes were big, his ears were pointed, and his tail was long. Mr. Ginger has a pointed ears and a long tail. Cece, is the Mr. Ginger you mentioned the cat on the wall poster? Yes, Mr. Ginger is my favorite cat. I see. I will keep an eye out for him. Really? I'm gonna go tell Mr. Tin Woodman about this good news. Cece, it's time for breakfast. Coming. Let's go, Afu. Let's find the two misters. Lost cat. This theater is hiring. Should I give it a try? It looks so glamorous inside. Will I fit in? Didn't your, like, uncle just die? Is that what you're worried about? This is Ting Sing. Her uncle just died. Stone Wu was her uncle, right? I remember her. She's a store assistant at the foreign goods store, and her name is Ting Sing. Well, let's just ask and see. Perhaps she knows some information. Miss Ting? It's unfortunate for everyone with me standing here. I'll leave right away. Relax, I'm Shanghai news journalist. We are investigating the incident this morning. Miss Ting, I wonder if you would be willing to help. Well, I may not be able to help anyone. Okay, tell me about you. Ting Sing, would you like to introduce yourself first? I'm not worth mentioning at all. I only bring misfortune to others. I wonder what this actually says. My parents smoked opium. I saved money to buy a Cestian drug, but after they took it, they all... 1 month ago, I was working at the Taiping Hotel. A customer was allergic to peanuts, and my boss heard that the customer was from the Green Gang. He packed up and ran away overnight. A week ago, I started working at a bakery run by the British. A car crashed into the wall. The collapsing wall hit him right on the back of his head. A few days ago, I finally got a job at the foreign goods store. But then the boss, I feel like I'm constantly surrounded by misfortune. Oh, I guess they're not related. I thought he said something like, my niece ting to sing or whatever. Can you please get Miss Lee? But I guess I misunderstood. It's just the assistant. Okay. Why does this... I'm just now realizing I don't think the ears are quite, like, even on this hat. I feel like I'm constantly surrounded by misfortune. And these things are not your fault. Don't worry, we just want to ask for your help in answering some questions. Well, I may not be able to help anyone. Okay. Have you seen Shen? Ting-a-sing, did you happen to see the man who visited the foreign goods store with me last night? No. After you left, I didn't see him again. But Stow Wu arranged to meet him at 8 p.m. in the study room of the store. After Sergeant Sai came yesterday, my boss decided to close early, so I went home after work. As the boss spoke, he also glanced at me a little more. He must be disliking me. I should have walked away on my own earlier. So you didn't see Mr. Shen? No, I didn't. Don't worry, we just want to ask you answering some questions. Okay. She definitely seems to have some bad luck, though. I mean, you accidentally kill a... This kid is freaking me out here. You accidentally kill, like, a gang leader who happens to be allergic to peanuts in your hotel. And then you get a job at a bakery, and the bakery gets hit by a car, and then that causes a wall to fall down and kill your boss. That is some weird bad luck. You were the first to discover the body? Yes. Are you willing to talk about the process of discovering the body? My boss's glance haunted me endlessly. I decided to arrive early today and behave well. When I arrived, I found the front door unlocked, so I went in to see if we had been robbed. Okay, so it was weird that the door was unlocked. After entering, I felt something was wrong. The study door should have been closed. I went to check the study room, but I saw the boss, lying in the pool of blood. Well, it looks like he's been shot. I don't know if this is a bullet or something else. There was a hole in his body. It was so terrifying. Is there any other information? Officer Lee said the boss might have provoked the Green Gang. I'm thinking, could it be those deceased bosses coming to claim my life? The Green Gang was actually looking for me. Woo. What? Miss Ting, don't think too much about it. That's all I wanted to ask. Thank you, Miss Ting. Did what I said really help you? It was helpful. Actually, this information is quite important. It seems I can't be of help to anyone. Okay, well that's the opposite of what we just said, but okay. Theater. Oh, we can go in here. The theater is empty. There's no one here. Ticket office. It's still early in the morning. The ticket seller hasn't started working yet. It's kind of weird to me that we were able to come all the way in here even though we don't think the theater has anything to do with anything. Magic Troop poster. Yuki Magic Troop's Wonderful Hands series Magic is currently in hot performance. Sometime in 7:30 p.m. Oh, she does it in gloves. I've heard that's really hard to do. Also, why is she only wearing one glove and not two? Wait. Hold on. I think this is an art error. Because she has the, like, bracelet of the glove, but the color here matches her skin? Wrist cuffs? Oh, so you don't think this is a glove? Oh. Oh, I guess it does have the nail kind of protruding out, huh? Yeah, so these must... Okay, so this isn't a glove. She just happens to have... Okay, so the art on the poster is a little bad. Alright, her skin is the same color as her, like, white cuffs. And it kind of throws it off and it halfway makes it look like she's wearing gloves. Okay, never mind then. Also, this is not a mask. Well, it's what they call a domino mask. It's not a good mask, it's just a mask. Yeah, something this tiny is usually, I think, referred to a domino mask. Or what's the other one? A masquerade mask? Where it's just the little ones on the thing and you, like, hold them up to your face. It says overgrown eyebrows, no mask. It goes down on top of her nose. I don't think I've ever seen overgrown eyebrows go that far down. Plus, it's a different color than her hair. I would think, well, I guess her hair is probably fake. That's probably a wig, right? Yeah, the art on this is very odd. Showtime is from 7:30 p.m. to 8:45 p.m. Magician Julia is about to subvert your imagination. We know Julia personally. Poster of Magic Troupe. The Wonderful Hand series is currently... Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, she's over there, by the way. Shin mentioned 2 days ago about watching the magic together. Afu? Yeah, can I help you? Wait, how do you know my name? You... Afu, do you not remember who Julia is? You were there during a murder investigation. You literally helped accuse her of murder, you dingus. I mean, I guess it's been 2 years or whatever, or like a year and a half or whatever, but still, come on, man. Julia, long time no see. How have you been? Koshin? Been long since you last came to watch the performance. I was on a business trip to Hanyang and just came back to follow the theft case. Once things settle down, I'll come find you for tea. Afu, don't you recognize the magician Julia? Are you... Yin Chu? Yeah, see, I think the poster needs I think it just needs to be like a reprint. I think the color's kind of faded out on it. Yeah, see, back here you can tell it much more clearly that this is a different color, like, that's not a glove, that's her skin. Almost on this one, it kind of looks like she's wearing a glove, actually. 2 years have passed in the blink of an eye. Are you here because of Mr. Shen? Have you seen Shen? You don't know? He was arrested here last night. What? Arrested? Arrested? Yeah, he broke in, he was drunk, he started hitting people with a baseball bat? What? During the intermission of the performance last night around 8:30, I saw him in the lobby. Knew he'd be the suspect. I mentioned it earlier, but I didn't think it was going to be, like, this involved. I assumed they just found him at the crime scene or something. I saw him in the lobby. There were many police... Oh, okay. He has the gun from the murder. Okay. There were many police officers in the lobby and a detective. They surrounded Mr. Shen. Mr. Shen was holding a gun in his hand, and the policeman dared not approach him. They're pretty close considering they're not approaching him. A gun? How could Shen have a gun? If even you didn't know, how could Julia know? Yeah. Later, the Indian sergeant ordered Mr. Shen to put down his weapon. After Mr. Shen dropped his gun, the police tied him up and took him away. He is not tied up right there. Does Mr. Shen say anything at the time? Mr. Shen remained silent throughout, and his face looked very pale. I tried to inquire about Mr. Shen, why Mr. Shen was arrested, but the police remained tight-lipped. Seems like we need to go to the police station to find out more about the situation. Doubt. Where is Shin? Updated. Locker. Inshu, was this warning line up by the police? They said it's evidence, and it must be preserved as it is. Okay. Oh, yeah. If there's anything I can help with, feel free to ask me. Thank you, Inshu. Okay, I guess not right now, there's not. Alright. Leave the theater. Okay. Toby Chang? Why did you take her picture? Oh, isn't this reporter Wen? Wait. Do we know you? Is this one of Shin's other friends from college? Sorry, I was so focused on taking pictures of the theater gate that I didn't notice you coming out. Why were you taking pictures of the theater gate? To supplement some image material for the big news last night. Yesterday's big news? Were you at the scene when Mr. Shin was arrested? Yes, not only was I at the scene, but I also captured a very important moment. Can I see that photo? Of course not. This is big news, and I plan to do follow-up reports. I won't disclose any details. Koshin, I feel like I've seen Toby Chang somewhere before. He's a senior reporter in our press. Always thinking I'm competing with him for headlines. Maybe you've read his articles before? No, I think that's one of other Shin's college buddies. Oh, we finally get to ride the tram. Should we take the tram? The dang tram. I heard this is the first tram with tracks in Jingnan. You let him get away? It's not like I can control that. It was a cutscene. As soon as I took control, they gave me 2 seconds of movement, and then I have to get on this stupid tram. Very suspicious. Very suspicious. I heard this is the first tram with tracks in Jingyan. You can also enjoy the scenery of the Hungpao River along the way. There were 2 of you and 1 of him. I mean, Afu's not particularly a large gentleman. And, what's her name? Winshu or whatever? I don't remember what her name is. She doesn't strike me as the hands-on type. But she could, I mean, she could suddenly turn out to be like Lois Lane style, like martial arts specialist or something, but I don't know. But, taking the tram is faster than walking, and it can save us some time. Wanna try it? My treat. Sure, why not? Great. Thank you, Koshin. This guy is like so done. This guy is so done. 110% done. Mixed court. They're just doing some hair cutting on the street here, huh? Central Station stop. Should we take the tram? Go to the theater. Not yet. Okay, so we can take the tram back. Extra. Detective Shin was caught late at night. What? Hey there, buddy. Sis, take a look at the newspaper. Just arrived. Hot news. Watson Koala Water formula stolen. International Opium Commission date confirmed. And more. Arrested Detective Shin Chupang's true identity exposed. He was actually... Actually what? Curious? Buy a newspaper and find out. I'll take one. An article written by Toby Chang about Shin's arrest. It contains... Its content is totally nonsense. This isn't it was reported so quickly. This article states that Shin was arrested because he was an accomplice to a thief. It also claims that he was involved in the theft of the 4 major families' vaults a week ago. It's full of lies. Shin and I just arrived in Shanghai yesterday. This This doesn't concern me. I'm just selling newspapers. If you think they got it wrong, go find them. Deliberately stirring up controversy and exaggerating things to grab attention. As I expected, the article is written by Toby Shang. Get your newspaper, get your news police station. How far over can we actually go here? Hey, look, it's this guy again. Oh, that's the theater right there. Okay. He was the accomplice of the evil Shen. Oh, man. That would be a heck of a reveal. Turns out evil Shen is also going around doing things. Okay, I can't go any further that direction. Alright, we got a couple of... Let's see, so evidence so far. Every evening from 7:30 to 8:45. Throwhand series is currently in hot performance. Every evening from 7:30 to 8:45. Why was she on an intermission at 8:30 then? If the show wraps up at 8:45, they took an intermission just to come back for what, 10 minutes a show? That's really odd to me. It's an article written by Toby Chang about Shen's arrest. Its content is totally nonsense. What do we got so far? Okay, we got most of the characters. The cat has his own entry. Mr. Ginger, Cece's cat. A ginger cat raised by Cece. He got scared by a strange noise and ran away, not returning home since then. Cece is worried and has asked me to find him. Facts. Facts. Where is it? The Dang Dang Tram. Let's see. The Dang Dang Tram, also known as the tram car, is named after the ringing bells hanging on the front vehicle, making a dang dang sound to alert pedestrians to give way. It was introduced to Beijing by Simons in 1899. In 1906, the Round City Route line was completed in Haijin. In 1908, the tram line in Shanghai officially started operation, running from Jiang Temple to the Bund. The Bund? With its advantage of speed and high passenger capacity, trams rapidly developed and marked the beginning of mechanization in the urban transportation in China. Okay. International Opium Commission. The International... That is a terrible photo. Oh my god. The International Opium Commission, convened in Shanghai in February 1909, was a pivotal international assembly aimed at addressing the prohibition of opium. This conference was called into action following the interim achievements of Emperor Gangzu's anti-opium edicts. Urged by the advocacy of the Bishop of the Philippines, Brent? The photographer was on opium? I mean, that would explain why it looks like trash. I mean, I know photography wasn't as good back then, but I mean, you can't, like, see any of these people's faces. Unless this was a thing they did to the photo when they put it into the module as, like, some sort of, like, I don't know, choice? This is a terrible photo. But Brent? Urged by the advocacy of the Bishop of the Philippines, Brent, who wrote to Roosevelt highlighting the urgency of the opium issue in the Far East, the United States, under the Council of the Secretary of State, Root, spearheaded this initiative. The gathering saw the participation of more than 10 countries, including China, the United States, Britain, France, Germany, among others. It resulted in the unanimous passage of 9 resolutions aimed at curbing opium trade, marking a significant moment in the global anti-drug movement. Wow. Cool. Alright, so I guess we gotta either... I guess we just go into the mixed court. Oh wait, no, this just tells me about it. This building looks grand. What is it used for? This is a mixed court, mainly handling cases involving different nationalities. It includes cases involving sailors, business disputes, vessel detentions, and more. Is it specifically established for foreigners? The mixed court can provide judgments for people of different nationalities. It's also an important place for me to gather news. Newspaper guy's trying a little too hard for my taste. Mixed court. In the mid-19th century, the mixed court was formed within the concession in China due to the establishment of consular jurisdiction. the formation of mixed Chinese and foreign communities, and dissatisfaction with Chinese government jurisdiction. It was in a collaborative institution where consuls from the concession countries, Chinese officials jointly handled cases. The mixed court upheld both Chinese and Western legal systems, but in terms of fairness, both Chinese and foreign officials were more concerned about safeguarding their respective interests. The mixed court showed some progress in reducing physical punishment, abolishing corporal punishment, and allowing defense lawyers. What? Fair enough. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. So yeah, I think the only thing we have to do now is just go in the police station. Nothing? Okay. When will the confiscated goods be returned? Sorry, we're still waiting for the approval letter. Our children must go to school soon. Can't this matter be resolved yet? Please wait a little longer. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, we can't go that way. It is done. Let me speak. Hurry up. Don't delay me from earning the reward. My clue is valuable. When will it be my turn? Oh, okay. Wait, letters on the table. There's a box full of letters on the table. It's also surrounded by various reports and letters. Okay. Bag full of letters. There are 2 stacks in the corner of police station, filled with discarded tip-off letters. That looks like one bag, but okay. Huh? Both of these 2 letters mentioned last night. I dreamt the Shanghai Phantom would steal from the Yingao antique store on the evening of September 14th. I overheard whispers there'd be a theft by the Shanghai Phantom at 4 p.m. September 14th at Yu Garden. Among the numerous discarded tip-off letters, these 2 predict that the Shanghai Phantom will commit. I'm sure if it's related to Shin, but let's take a note of it for now. Only that guy's done. Where's the door? Okay. Hi. Officer, may I ask if Mr. Shin Chunping was arrested last night? What is your relationship with him? Mr. Shin is a detective and I am his assistant. Currently, Mr. Shin is being investigated at the police station. Okay. Is he okay? I want to see him. I know how you feel, but he is involved in a major case and can't be visited. Please go back. Oh, does he have the, like, hots for her? Officer Wu, is Aunt Lee doing well recently? Miss Wen, long time no see. Thanks to those medical journals you brought, my mom's condition has improved a lot. It's just a small favor. Are you here for Mr. Shin's case as well? Mr. Shin suddenly went missing, and we are all very worried about him. What happened really? We just had a briefing meeting. The chief requested strict confidentiality of this case. I understand. I just want to know some basic information. Alright, what do you want to know? Shin Chuping's current situation about the briefing meeting. Shin Chuping's current situation. Officer Wu, how is Shin doing now? He is physically fine, but his mood is a bit low. Ah, did he say anything? He hasn't said anything. That's also the biggest issue at the moment. When we asked him about the crime, he simply said he doesn't remember anything. Sergeant Sin? How would you... Sinf? Sergeant Sif believes he is intentionally not cooperating. Fortunately, Mr. Joseph intervenes. Could there be any hidden circumstances in this? We have gathered sufficient evidence, so there's probably no hidden circumstances. Alright, what do you want to know? Hit me with the briefing. Since strict confidentiality was emphasized, it means what Mr. Shin has done is very serious. Am I right? The content of the briefing meeting is absolutely confidential. All I can say is that it's unfair for Mr. Shin. Many pieces of evidence point towards him. Alright, what do you want to know? This gun he's holding is interesting looking. Because earlier when they were arresting Shin, one of the officers had a what do you call it? A broom handle Mauser, Like, what is it, an M96 Mauser or whatever they call those? But I don't know what this is supposed to be. Like, there's no sight on it, or like whatever this is does not look like a sight. Also, in this picture, it's on his left, and in this picture, it's on its right, but whatever. Ching Ching Ping. What is the reason for Mr. Shin's arrest? The initial charge was illegal possession of weapons upon entering the international settlement. Maybe it's not a gun? It could, maybe it's not a gun. It could be something else, I guess. So were there new charges later? Seems that the subsequent crimes involved are more serious than illegal possession of weapons. Miss Wen, you guessed it right. We did discover during the investigation that Mr. Shen is involved in the other major cases. What exactly are these major cases? The recent major case in the international settlement? Could it be the murder case? Is it related to the murder case at Stone Foreign Goods store? Mr. Shen met with Mr. Stone Wu at Stone's store last night, and Stone was found dead this morning. Stone Wu was shot to death, and Mr. Shen was initially charged with illegal possession of a gun. Are you suspecting Mr. Shen as the murderer of Stone Wu? The murderer? Impossible. I'm sorry, I cannot disclose any information about the murder case. The recent major case in the international settlement? Could it be the theft case? Shanghai Phantom has caused panic lately. He/she may have stolen the formula of Watson Cola Water. The police even issued a reward notice for this. Is Mr. Shen involved in this? After the reward was issued, we received various kinds of tip-off letters. Most of them were hearsay and rumors, complicating the investigation instead. Officer Wu, is Shen... I not comment on whether Mr. Shen is related to the theft case. From my reaction, you don't really think both cases are related to Mr. Shen, do you? How can you make such a random speculations, Miss Wen? So it's actually true? Alright, what do you want to know? Alright, about the progression of the investigation. Since the briefing meeting was held, it seems that the police have obtained some evidence. You guessed it again. Mr. Shen is the sole suspect in the shooting at the foreign goods store with solid evidence. Wow, you just let that out even though I think you were just saying that's supposed to be a secret. Alright. How could this happen? Miss Wen, I really can't say any more. Please make sure to keep the information we just discussed strictly confidential. You can trust us. We keep our lips sealed. Officer Wu, Shen couldn't have committed murder. Can you find a way for me to meet him? I'm sorry. I don't have that kind of authority. Hey, you. Who's making a fuss at the police station? Well, there's this giant pack of people, like, pushing their way over the top of the desk, or there's us having a polite conversation. You tell me. Sergeant Singh? Like, Sinf? Officer Wu, what's going on here? He is Xing Chaoping's assistant and wants to visit. Hey, you. What are you thinking? So any assistant can visit like that? Xin Changping is a notorious murderer. Were you planning to let him collude with this guy? I'm sorry? Sergeant Singh, if I have right, the suspect has the right to be visited during detention. Mr. Joseph. Besides, he hasn't said a word since his arrest, which is not conductive to the investigation. Allowing him to meet with a friend, perhaps it's good for cooperation. Hey, you. You do make some sense. Officer Wu, bring Xin Qingping out. Oh. Xin, are you alright? I know you couldn't have done it. What really happened? I'm assuming this is why they changed his outfit back to its default, is because they probably didn't want to have to reanimate each outfit to be like missing layers for him to be handcuffed. Shin, if there's anything I could do, let me know. Shin, please talk to me. You shouldn't have come. My case has nothing to do with you. Mr. Shin, is it true that you killed Stone Wu? I don't know. Go. Don't waste any more time on me. Shin, why would you say something like that? Go. Stop meddling in this matter. Hey, you. It's about time to take the suspect back. Since Mr. Shin can speak now, he should be able to cooperate with my interrogation later, right? Okay, so I guess he was drugged and, like, doesn't remember what was going on? Afu, let's go. Shin. Shin. How could it turn out like this? Shin refuses to tell us what happened and doesn't let us help? Who is he to say we can't interfere? It's understandable to be worried about dragging you into it, but he underestimates me. I have an idea. We can serve as his defense counsel. Defense counsel? It means defending the suspect in a criminal court and helping him protect his rights. Great idea. We don't have a lawyer's license. We need a letter of authority from Mr. Shin first. We could also defend him as a friend or relative. That won't work. Shin will definitely not give us a letter of authorization. There's another way, but it requires waiting for a few days. What is it? I interviewed Sergeant Singh before and noticed a habit of his. After finishing questioning, he asked the suspect to leave extra fingerprints on blank paper. Mr. Shin must be no exception. As long as we obtain a paper with Mr. Shin's fingerprints, we can make the letter on our own. Seems like this is the only way. Why would we have to wait for a few days? I have to send a letter to the police station first. After receiving the approval, only then can I enter Sergeant Singh's office in the name of an interview. I have a solution. Tell me about it. It's still early. Let's go around the crime scene first and see if we can find more clues. Come back here at 8 p.m. tonight. Okay. Around. Clues about the Stone Wu case. Go to the foreign goods store, hotel, theater, etc. to search for any overlooked clues. I want to defend Shin. I need to first check the details of Stone Wu's case. I should go back and take another look around the crime scene. The theater is where Shin was arrested. I can go there to check again. Could also consider going back to the hotel. Maybe Shin has left me some clues? Okay. So the other thing we gotta look out for is I'm wondering if we can actually find... I still can't go that way. If we can actually find Mr. Ginger. And I'm wondering if that loud noise or whatever is actually a gunshot somehow. Like, Miss Stone Wu was actually killed in the Bell... what do they call it? The Bell building or whatever, and then his body was dumped over there? The theater stop. We take the tram? Oh, no. I'm actively looking for a cat. I'm not gonna find him on a tram. Or the Colo Hunter. How do you feel? I haven't tried it yet. Everyone is queuing. It must be good. Okay, we talk to you. Larry Oriental Hotel stop. Oh, let's just switch for that. Hotel. Look, and now this kid's over here again. Come on, they should have invented at least one other kid art. When I think of Shin, however beautiful the river scenery is, I am not in the mood to enjoy it. Okay. Do I need to, like, just go sleep or something? Everybody should lend me instructions in the room. Should we go back and take a look? Let's go take a look. Newspaper. Mysterious case in Hang Ironworks unveiled. Traveling detective's clever strategy revealed. Isn't this the article I wrote? This newspaper was being sold everywhere as we got to Shanghai, so I brought one as a souvenir. Readers are eagerly looking forward to seeing the two detectives solve a new case again. Newspaper article. Okay. I'm assuming this is going to place us not here for the whole, like, theft thing. Briefcase. Well, there's that guy. Then that's, I think, him as a kid. Also, what kind of vaguely looks like a time bomb. This is Shin's briefcase. Contains documents of Shin's brother's case, and he often takes it out to review. What is this machine? This is my new invention, the phonograph broadcasting machine. Excuse me, what? My suitcase was full, so I stuffed it into Shin's. What is a phonograph broadcasting machine? It consists of two machines, a broadcasting machine and a phonograph. The sound received, even from far away, can be recorded and broadcast through a phonograph. Like a figure with super hearing in mythology? Exactly. If I further improve it, we can do long-distance sound transmission. That sounds great, but there's one drawback. Long-distance sound transmission only allows for one to speak or listen. Two-way would be ideal. That's easy. By using two of the machines simultaneously, we can both listen and speak. Two machines. It's not convenient to carry. I figured out how to make it portable yet. Try adding a button first. When we hear a sound, we press it, and the other person will know. Okay, so I guess apparently he's... Is he trying to invent a telephone? Is that the joke? Or like a walkie-talkie? It's something in there, right? It's either a walkie-talkie or a telephone? But I feel like by the 1920s... By the 1920s, phones should kind of be a thing already, right? Maybe not in China, though. Maybe not in China. Books. This is a book that Shin reads every day. The English Law Review, the Great Qing Code, Handbook for Judicial Examiners. They're all books related to law, fitting for Mr. Shin. Afu and Wen Koshin investigated other areas, but... Oh, what is this? Okay. Oh, right. Afu, why did you bring your invention here? You'll find out soon enough. You're not planning to break into the police station at night, are you? That's exactly what I have in mind. This is a common padlock, quite easy to open. But Koshin, can you tell me how to get to Sergeant Shing's office? Once I'm inside, I'll need you to keep watch outside. This is too risky. Can't you even wait for a day? I'm afraid of the problems that may be incurred by a delay. All right. Oh, we're doing this. Okay, what do we got? A to rotate crowbar, which I'm assuming this piece, and arrows to rotate the lock. Oh, okay, it's just... It's just, Elder Scrolls style. The lock is open. Alright, Koshin, then I'll go now. Hurry in and come back quickly. Once you're in the sergeant's office, focus on the files related to the shooting case. Understood. This is a major crime he's committing, by the way. Afu, can you hear me? Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so he invented... Okay, so he invented, walkie-talkies. He invented, like, wireless radios. Okay, that's probably super impressive for the time. I thought he was maybe just inventing a phone. But no, he's inventing wireless radios, which is insane, I think, actually. The sergeant's office is at the end of the corridor. Be careful. Okay. I mean, they can't see me? I'm just standing here. Oh, okay. Did you sleep well last night? More than not sleeping well, I didn't sleep at all. Was it because of the shooting case? Sergeant Singh personally led the team arresting people and investigating. Was allowed to leave the police station. Take a nap then, I'll go patrol. This is not Metal Gear Solid. The policeman is asleep. I need to be quiet so as not to wake him. We need to go slowly to pass by safely. Oh, I just have to walk. Okay. Oh, okay. I can hide under the desk. What to do next? Leave. Okay. I'm just gonna hide here for a second to see how this works out, what my timing looks like. How far? They just pull out guns and just shoot him dead. Stealth failed. They have the broken radio. You can skip it too. Oh no, we're going back. Oh, that's so good. Confirm. The way that should play out, and it would be so exaggerated, but it's just like the guy with the the guy with the light flashes on him. It's like, oh no, and then you just hear a bunch of gunfire go off. Oh, I forgot. Forgot to hold the stealth button. What to do next? Well, we wait here a second. Also, why is the light off in the middle of the police station? Shouldn't the lights just be on down here? Like, oh my god, proceed to the second floor. Oh, good. This guy is still asleep. Get water, hide? Obtain a glass of water. Okay. Why did I do that? What am I gonna do with this water? Okay. Oh, okay, we automatically hid. Huh? Oh, there was still water in the cup. I thought I had finished drinking it. Okay. We can go back down to the first floor. Oh, come on! What? How did I get caught? Come on now. Alright, this is definitely not Metal Gear Solid, but this is very funny. It's one thing if you say it must have been the wind. It's another when water magically shows up. There's still water in that cup. Weird. Wait, there's a second beer? I swear I finished that first beer. Maybe he saw me before I went downstairs or something. Oh. Oh. Wait, so what do I... Okay. I mean, this guy doesn't have a light, but I'm assuming he would see me when he turns around, right? Also, I'm not sure if I need to stealth for this or not. No, apparently not. Oh, there's a otherworldly officer, a cat officer painting that seems out of this era, attracted by the cat. How? Okay, so what am I supposed to actually be doing here? I'm kind of confused. Do I not need to pour the water yet? I finished drinking it. Yeah, there's a picture of a cat back here. Oh, as soon as I interact with it, I get spotted. Okay. So, what am I supposed to be doing? What is my timing here? Okay. I was trying to use two different inputs at the same time and it kind of misclicked. Alright, it's fine. Pour the water. Okay, then we automatically hide. Oh, they won't see me here. Oh. I thought they would see me. Alright, I guess that's what I was doing. So I guess finding that cat photo was just random dumb luck. Agile intruder. Yeah, finally here. Next, we need to find the paper with Shin's fingerprints. Filing cabinet. Some blank notebooks. Let me flip through and see if there is Shin's signature. None. Interesting knife up here. Dagger on the cabinet. Curved dagger with an exotic design. Its handle looks like it's made of ivory. The handle is carved with patterns and writings that I can't understand. Elephant sculpture. There's a sculpture of an elephant on the table, looking silly. Okay. Let's see, what's all the way over here? Nothing? Okay. File cabinet. File cabinet is labeled seized evidence. Let me see what's inside. Icom Theater 212. Exploring methods for extracting Brunus from Nux Vomica. This is an English paper written by Stone Wu. A new drug called Brunasine can be extracted from Nux Voxima. Its therapeutic effects is similar to... Huh? This note is next... This note next to it, it is... Lycum Theater 212. 12. What does 212 represent? A note with this sentence made by passing cut out words from a newspaper forming the phrase Lycum Theater 212. Tapestry on the wall. Tapestry full of exoticism with vibrant colors. Exoticism? Okay. Case files. There's a file on the desk. It's an autopsy reporter Stone Wu. Based on the body, the time of death could be between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Yeah, see, I think that was what the setup was supposed to be. Was that Shin was supposed to get there at 8, and then he would discover the body, and then get kind of like Try to get framed for it? The victim had a 2.5 centimeter diameter puncture wound on the left chest. The bullet passed through the victim's body, causing multiple organ injuries and severe bleeding. This is also the cause of death. The clothing near the victim's chest wound had scorch marks and the skin was partially burned. It's highly likely that the shooting was done at close range. The victim also had a head injury, indicating that he had suffered a blow from a blunt object. Additionally, there are marks of being bound with rope on the victim's wrists and ankles. It's died between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. A bullet penetrated the left chest. Bruises on the head, signs of SUV. Evidence box. Inside are Shin's hat, coat, and some personal belongings, including this photo. Odd. There's also a photo frame. It's a group photo of Brian and Stone Wu. Photo of Shin's older brother with Stone Wu in front of the Wu family ancestral hall when they were young. That's strange. I didn't know Shin had this photo. He must have been given to him by Stone Wu. There's another piece of paper tucked inside the photo frame. H2. Okay. I'm assuming this is milliliters. And then this is the chemicals that you're adding. H2, C12H22O11. CO2 is carbon, right? C6H8O7. Is this... I can't say I know most of this. I'm not this kind of scientist, right? Not a would it be a pharmacist? No, not a biologist. Chemist, a chemist, thank you. Brain, thank you. A chemist, right? I mean, I know, obviously, H2O, simple one. CO2 is a pretty simple one. But I don't know if this is the formula that's missing for the soda, or if this is the drug that they're working on or whatever, right? There's a note. H2CO2. It's like some kind of formula? Note found in the Sergeant Singh's office. It contains some chemical formulas and ingredients ratios. Afu, have you reached the sergeant's office? Please respond if you received. Please respond if you received. Beep. What happened to the paper with the fingerprints? Have you found it? Beep, beep. I need to go and find the thing Koshin mentioned. I'll receive the contents of this paper for now and study it later. Afu, did you find the paper with the fingerprints? Beep, beep. Forget it. Leave right now. Sergeant Singh has returned. Emergency, emergency. Does he can think that by solving a few cases he can look down upon us? Well, he wears his on his thigh. We need to do something to make him cooperate. Make him understand that in this police station, who's the boss? Evidences are quite comprehensive. The significance of the confession is limited. Let's leave it to the court. I'm asking, are you protecting him? I never show mercy to criminals. Afu, can you hear me? Sergeant Singh has returned to the police station. Leave. Who is it? Oh, no. A few minutes later. Goshin, why did you have to speak at that moment? It's my fault for not improving the phonograph broadcasting machine. Now, without the fingerprints, I won't be able to help Shin. Afu, is that you? This voice. Am I hallucinating? I thought I was hallucinating. Shin, what are you doing here? The one who should be asking that question is me. Afu explained his own experiences to Shen Chungping. And then he caught me and confiscated my phonograph broadcasting machine. You really are reckless, even daring to sneak into the police station. I didn't want you to get involved in this, as I didn't want you to take any risks. But it seems like it backfired. I can't just stand idly by and watch you being framed. This case is complicated and dangerous, and I may not come out of it unscathed. You need help? I have to do all I can. You are trapped in the prison and you cannot even do an investigation. Aren't you also trapped in a prison cell? Let's not talk about that part. Afu, I know you're worried about me, but I would rather see you safe. Since we can't leave anyway, why don't you tell me about that evening? Didn't Sto Wu arrange to meet you at his store? Why did you go to the theater? You don't have to fish for answers from me. I think I might have an answer to this question. Where's that? Okay. The drug club arrest can be extracted. With Toby Chang about Shin's arrest, its content is totally nonsense. So tip-off letters to predict that the Shanghai Phantom will commit a theft on September 14th. Involving the higher case. Okay, I think I might have an answer. So why he went to the theater? Also, if he died between 8 and 10, they picked him up at 8:45, right? So he would have had to have been dead before that. If they're trying to blame it on Shen, anyway. And some chemical formulas, ingredients ratio seem to be a formula. Hot performance showtime every evening. Okay. Let's just predict that the Shanghai Phantom will commit a theft on September 14th. News article. I don't know what any of this has to do with why he was at the theater. Oh, oh no, the cutscene. I guess it's just this. It has. This is the obvious one, right? So it has to just be this. You went to the theater because someone left a note for you, right? Seems like I was right. Shin, the person who led you to the store and the theater was clearly setting you up. But we don't even know who the opponent is. They seem to know our every move. I'm well aware of what evidence the police possess. If I were the prosecutor in this case, I would inevitably suspect myself as the culprit. Shen, guess who I encountered at the Lyceum Theater today? Who? It's Yin Shu. She has become a well-known magician. And then I remembered our first meeting on the ship. I was standing at the crime scene with blood on my hands, unable to utter a word of defense. At first, everyone believed that I was the murderer, and later, suspicions turned to Yin Shu. But you, through meticulous reasoning, reconstructed the truth, clearing us of suspicion. If it weren't for your persistence, both Yin Shu and I would not have the lives we have now. This time, with you being wrongly accused, I cannot simply stand by and do nothing. Well, I guess. Shen, let me be your defense counsel. Well, that's the thing, is you're also in prison now, so I don't know if I could really let you be my defense counsel. Alright, Afu. I agree to let you be my defense counsel. That's great. You agreed. Can I ask you some questions? Sure, but I'm not sure if I can provide the answers. The events in the study. Did you encounter Stone Wu in the study of the foreign goods store? I didn't see anyone, to be honest. I was waiting for Stone Wu in the study, but he never showed up. By chance, I found a document on the desk. The document had the same note you mentioned attached to it. So, you went to the theater? Yes, I think so. I heard a noise. It sounded like a bell, and then I went straight to the theater. Can I ask you some questions? Sure, but I'm not sure if I can provide... Okay, evidence of the... Shin, what happened at the theater? At the time, I was thinking about my brother's case. I don't remember the details. Shin looks burdened with something. You can't see him. How would you know that? It seems he found something else at the foreign goods store. Can't tell me for now. Should I ask him? Shin, how about I share the results of my investigation with you? Okay. A few hours later. Oh? Shin, you were also caught? What are you thinking? I came to get you out. Afu, you have been released on bail. Thank you, Officer Wu. And thank you, Koshin. Wait, Officer Wu? Wait, he's also involved with this? No. No. You do not have the relative of the murdered victim be the officer involved with the crime. Like, the investigation at all, right? You do not, if they're related. So, I don't know how common this last name is, but if they're not trying to draw a direct line between these people, they needed to change these names. This is like the fourth interaction with Wu something, and unless they're intentionally drawing this as one gigantic line, which they could be, I'm not saying they're not, they could be, they need to change these if it's not related. Afu, please don't thank me. I didn't do anything. Mr. Shen? About the defense, what do you think? I've written a letter of authorization and handed it to the jailer. But this case is full of difficulties. Shin, please rest assured, no matter what difficulties we face, we can overcome them. Oh. Indeed, having such determination is crucial, especially when the adversary in court is Joseph. Joseph? Maybe we have to argue against Mr. Joseph? Yes. Don't worry, Afu. It's Mr. Joseph who helped us a lot in getting you released on bail this time. Moreover, I heard that he is Mr. Shin's mentor. He should show some mercy during the trial, right? You haven't seen Joseph in the courtroom. Oh my god, is he gonna turn out to be our, Edgeworth? He is actually gonna turn out to be the Edgeworth! I swear I'm not an elk called this, I think, way back when we first met him, like, what, 3 weeks ago? Or like 4 streams ago with this now? I think she called it, this is gonna be the Edgeworth. Wow. Points for I swear I'm not an elk. He will never show any mercy. That doesn't matter. After all, the truth is on our side. As long as we are well prepared, I don't believe we will lose. You don't have much time left for preparation. The first trial will take place tomorrow. Tomorrow? Based on the mixed court rules, the trial begins once the prosecutor deems the evidence conclusive. The mixed court follows a one trial only system, which means you only have one chance. We don't have any evidence. Okay, they are definitely setting up the Phoenix Wright Ace Eternity stuff with this, like, one day to get evidence and then do a trial. At least in this case, they're at least setting it in like a different time in a different place that might actually have this kind of rule on the books at the time. Afu, let's hurry and prepare. Oh man, if it just cuts to him and he's like, oh, I'm just kidding. We have like a week and I have not told you about the biggest challenge yet. Uh-oh. The second day, Shanghai International Settlement's mixed court. Oh, that guy's like asleep on the stand. Wow, he put the powdered wig on? Really, Joseph? Koshin, everyone is here. Why hasn't the preceding judge announced the start of the trial? Could he be asleep? He is waiting for the observers to arrive. The observer? The judges at mixed court cannot try cases alone. There must be an observer present. The observer for this case is named Herman, whose Jardine family is one of the 4 in the Far East. Koshin seems to have completely entered the state. Koshin, you're so Don't talk. I'm nervous. So I don't think, I guess I take this back. Afu isn't the gumshoe. Afu is the, what's her name? The magic, the spirit talker lady, right? She's kind of the wacky side, he's kind of the wacky sidekick like she was. I mean, they're meant to be comedic relief, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I think he's meant to be the silly sidekick like she was. I completely forgot about that character until just now. And I'm assuming this is supposed to be... I'm trying to think of it. I guess this would be the older sister from Phoenix Wright, if she hadn't died and just, you know, stayed a character. Silence! To uphold justice before the throne of the king. This mixed court hereby enjoys the authority to hear, judge, and detain. All relevant parties, please appear in court. Oh my god. What? His monocle changed eyes. His monocle changed eyes after the walk-in. Oh, that's so good. The court begins the trial of Shin Chongping, accused of shooting and murdering Stone Wu. The preceding judge in this case will be Kun Chiing, governor of Shanghai. I, Herman Jardine, the Deputy Consul General of the British Consulate, will be the trial observer. Now let's confirm the identities. This doesn't look like a wig, by the way. Now let's confirm the identities of the prosecution and defense. The prosecutor, Joseph Bell, Chief Prosecutor of the Shanghai International Settlement, present. The prosecutor is present in the court. Mr. Joseph is dressed very formally. This is the defendant, Sheng Chengping, and his defense counsel present in the court. The defendant is present in the court. Shen doesn't look well. Could it be that he still hasn't eaten anything? Defense counsel? The atmosphere in the courtroom is so suffocating. Like it's frozen. Has the defendant appointed a defense counsel? That's strange. Why isn't the defense counsel speaking? Come on, Afu. Okay, he's definitely the spirit medium lady. Oh, what's her name? I can't remember what her name is. Oh god, they said it so many times during the Phoenix Wright too. She's constantly talking. There's Little Pearl. There's Little Pearl, and then there's the ant. The weird mushroom hat ant. Oh god, it was her and her sister, and they had very similar names because I kept saying them wrong whenever they were both on screen at the same time. Oh my god. Oh, I don't remember what her name is now. Oh, I'm so bad with names. Defense counsel Hisu Fuxing and Wen Kosin are present in the court. I almost forgot that I am the defense counsel myself. Afu, focus. The formal trial is about to begin. Afu, don't be nervous. The trial will be over soon. Thank you, Mr. Joseph. But is it good to confront me at the time like this? To comfort me at a time like this? This is not comforting at all. It's a threat. This case occurred in the internal settlement, but both the victim and the suspect are Chinese. According to the regulations of the mixed court, it should be handled by Shanghai officials. Fact update. Not at all, Judge Harmon. With you taking charge, I am here merely as a formality. Judge Kuhn, the British... Quan? Maybe it's Kuhn? Kuhn. The British Empire emphasizes procedural justice. We hope Qing officials can do so. I think that felt like kind of a backhanded compliment or something. And let's proceed to the trial. First, we need to conduct... Hold on, can I get a save in here, please? Kind of want to get me a save in here. We haven't saved in a hot minute, I don't feel like. Yeah, we can just throw it over that one. Successful, okay. First, we need to conduct a court investigation. Judge Harmon, if I'm not mistaken, have I followed the correct procedure? Shin Chengping, you are accused of murdering Stone Wu on the evening of September 14th at Stone's store. What do you have to say in response? Do you plead guilty? I didn't kill anyone. I plead not guilty. Not guilty, huh? Are you sure? It just whips like a... literally whips a book at him. Are you sure? Huh? You could save us a bunch of time. What's next, then? Afu, it seems that the Judge Kuhn is just as confused as you are. Listen, I'm an inventor. I don't go to court very often. Since the defendant claims innocence regarding the charges, Mr. Joseph will now make the prosecution statement. Judge Kuhn, please... Quan? Judge Quan, please judge after hearing the statement and determine whether he is guilty or not. Of course. Your Honors, the details of this case are very clear. This case occurred 3 days ago in the evening. The victim is Stone Wu, the owner of Stone Foreign Goods Store. According to the investigation, the defendant entered the victim's store at 7:50 that evening. Inside the study of the store, he first struck the victim's head with a blunt object. After the victim fell to the ground, he shot and killed the victim with a pistol. The above statements are supported by evidence and witnesses. Okay, well, first of all, the angle of the shot doesn't make any sense. I remember thinking that before, but I wasn't sure how they were going to present the order of operations of things, but alright. So, Mr. Joseph, please present the evidence. This is the autopsy report issued by the police coroner. It is evident that the victim died due to a bullet penetrating the left chest. Oh, a Colt specifically, eh? This is the pistol seized during the arrest of the defendant. I can't quite make out what that says. It looks like Colt something. Looks like this is supposed to be the caliber right here. I think that says 45 automatic. I think is what they're supposed to be setting up there. It's not a 1911. It sort of looks like a hammerless... It actually looks more like a Russian Tokarev, but like hammerless or something. Lord Gun HD, welcome. Do you ever wonder if the guy who made all the roads led to Rome ever thought that someone someday might want to leave Rome via those roads, but they can't now? Can they? It's true. I mean, nowadays you can because, I mean, obviously you just like get a plane or something. You just get something that doesn't take a road. But back then it was really hard to get away from Rome. Do you think there's like a, what would it be? A short horror story about not being able to escape Rome because all the roads keep leading back to Rome? But Lord Gun, how you doing? Hopefully you're having a good day. But yeah, this looks more like a Tokarev to me than it does a Colt anything. But I can't quite make out what the, like, caliber is supposed to be on the side of this. And it's hammerless, whatever it is. Because it doesn't even have a concealed hammer. It literally looks like it's completely hammerless. That is 100% a Tokarev, but they edited it to avoid copyright. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, the Tokarev has a partially obscured hammer. You can kind of see just a little bit off the back end. But the rest of this completely looks like a Tokarev. But a Tokarev is also sort of a derivative of a 1911 a little bit. And I don't know when Tokarevs were actually technically invented. Because, I mean, they were used in World War II, but that wouldn't have been till, like, you know, what, the late 30s or something? And this takes place in what, like 1921 or something like that? But yeah, it looks more like a Tokarev to me because of the sights. The sights, the fact it's hammerless, and then this, like, slide catch looks more like a Tokarev one than it does. Like, the safety and the slide catch don't look like a Colt weapon, but whatever. This is the pistol seized during the arrest of the defendant. Pistol has only the fingerprints of the defendant. 1930, and it uses 7.62 by 25 millimeter, probably. Yeah, this also looks like it says Colt some number automatic, I think, on here. So, not in a 7.60 by 25 millimeter, though. Also, like, slightly extended out barrel is kind of interesting. Tokarev was made directly to compete with the 1911, actually. Yeah. It was the main sidearm of the Russians during World War II, whereas the 1911 was the primary sidearm of the Americans during World War I and World War II, I believe. So, I mean, obviously in 1911, it could be a 1911, other than it's hammerless. And I think this part doesn't look quite right, and the sights are wrong. Compete for what? Like, you know, competent hands, you know, sidearm? Dominance, probably. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know if compete is compete is what we would call it now. Back then, it was just, you know, making a competent sidearm, right? This only had the fingerprints of the defendant. Oh, no, okay, it just says Colt automatic on it. There's no caliber. Okay, yeah, so just Colt automatic. I mean, I know Colt back then, they had a couple of other things that looked like 1911s but weren't. There was like the Colt 1908 or something like that, which was like this like long slide one. So Colt might have had some kind of weird like little 32 caliber like hammerless thing back then, but it looks more like a Tokarev to me. Like, it's one of those things where there was so many obscure little pistols like this back around that time because they were starting to become popular that there's a non-zero chance Colt had some kind of weird like little 36 caliber hammerless pistol that they sold for a while. I don't know. It's a Colt 1903. Okay, see, that makes more sense. That's what I'm talking about. Like, this is probably some lightly obscured Colt from that time period. I know firearm history well enough to know that, like, this could exist. It does look very similar to a Tokarev, though, minus the hammer. Also, I don't see... Maybe this is the magazine release. 1903 through 1945. Okay, yeah. Literally, like, almost 100-year-old semi-auto. Oh, it's 32 caliber. Exactly what I was talking about. Okay, perfect. The murder weapon in the shooting case, a 32 caliber pistol, fired only one bullet with Shin's fingerprints on it. Okay, it was literally what I said it was. It just didn't... I didn't know the official designation. All right. All right. Hammerless 32 caliber Colt 1903 pistol. Colt 1903 pistol. Perfect. Yep. Ugh. All right, we figured it out, everybody. It's a 1903 Colt hammerless and 32 caliber. From 1903. Turns out the murder weapon is the famous 2 horses. What? Hold on, Afu. What do you mean? It turns out the murder weapon is the famous 2 horses. We did it, Patrick. We solved the murder. Yeah. Oh, they actually gave us a little tidbit for that? Oh, I didn't think they were going to go that in-depth in it. Hold on. Hold on. I'm a gun nerd. I need to look and see what this Chinese-made module has to say about Colts from 1903. Hold on. Colt brand Luzi, also known as the Colt, M1903 handgun, is a semi-automatic pistol designed by the firearms designer John Browning. That's a whole conversation in itself. In 1902, this type of handgun is called a Luzi because a slide needs to be pulled back, Lu in Chinese, to load a round. So it'd be like a Luzai or something like that. Additionally, the grip of the pistol is engraved with the Colt's iconic rampant horse. Was it really called a rampant horse? That's actually fantastic. It's probably what the Tokarev is based on because they couldn't outright copy the 1911. Actually, yeah. That would actually make a lot of sense. Logo, hence the name Horse Luzai in Chinese. This firearm is highly regarded for its safety features and accuracy, and it quickly became one of the most widely used semi-automatic handguns in the world at the time. At the time, yeah, sure. Wow. Well, that's nice of them. I didn't realize they were going to go that in-depth with it. Regulations on the mixed court. Regulations drafted by the Circuit Intendant of Shanghai and revised by the British and American diplomats officially took effect in 1869. The content includes 10 chapters which establish the organization, jurisdiction of the mixed court. In practice, there were frequent issues of foreign staff encroaching on legal rights, and the Shanghai Counselor Corps repeatedly demanded amendments to the regulations to expand their powers. In 1905, a British vice council violated the regulations by forcibly interfering in a purely Chinese case, violently detaining the defendant. This sparked the public protest and eventually led to the chaotic and tragic mixed court incident. Wow. Alright. This is the bullet found at the crime scene. It almost looks like I can rotate it. The wounds on the victim's body were indeed caused by a bullet of the same caliber. How can we be sure that this bullet was fired from the seized pistol? The rifling marks on the bullet match those in the barrel of this pistol. Rifling marks? I heard this is the latest investigative technique. I didn't expect Mr. Joseph to be using it. Afu, why don't you introduce it to everyone? Oh, they added that on there too. The rifling marks on a gun are like fingerprints. Each gun is unique. Similarly, the marks left by a bullet passing through the barrel will also have differences. These differences may not be visible to the naked eye, but are evident under a microscope. In a word, rifling marks can be determine the correspondence between a bullet and a firearm. Bullet head. The bullet head found at the scene, caliber of 32. Rifling marks match those of the pistol with Shin's fingerprints. Your Honors, the defense counsel's explanation was very comprehensive. And the result of the rifling marks comparison is definite. The gun was fired by the defendant. Whoa, that's not what that proves. That just proves that that bullet came out of that gun. Cushion, maybe I shouldn't have explained. It's alright. If you didn't say it, he would have said it himself. But now we are in a defensive position. We need to refute something. Refute what? Anything will do. Otherwise, the confused judge will issue a verdict directly. Let me think. Shin is being framed. Shin found the gun. Shin doesn't have a gun. PB Hank 1, welcome. Hello there. How's it going? This looks fun. I mean, it's pretty fun if you like solving puzzles and finding about obscure 1920s Chinese facts. If you enjoy both of those things, then yeah, this is a lot of fun. I'm still really enjoying it. Let's see. So Shin is being framed. I'm not sure I do. I might. I mean, luckily the 1920 facts are optional. You don't actually have to learn them if you don't want to. But I actually enjoy them quite a bit. So I appreciate these sorts of things. By comparison, the details of microchip is possible. This technique has been gradually applied in criminal investigations since 1915. In the story, the use of rifling comparison technology by the police in the Shanghai International Summit is a fictional element. Oh, I guess this doesn't take place in the 20s. I thought this was in the 20s. Maybe this is earlier than I thought. Because if it takes place in the 20s, then in 1920, if this started in 1915... But this is a real thing, by the way. What he described is basically I'm assuming. Basically, just every barrel has slight micro differences in them. So when the bullet goes through the barrel, those differences are marked onto the bullet. And if you pull the bullet out and it's in decent condition, you can find the micro differences and compare them to individual bullets or individual barrels. Looks like we're getting towards the end. We're almost out of knowledge. And facts are getting low too. Okay, we are approaching the end then. The BB Hank, how are you doing? You having a good day? Shin is being framed. Shin just found the gun. She doesn't have a gun. Shin just found the gun. Because we don't know that he fired the gun, we just know he found the gun. We don't have to have anything to say regarding the charges. Well, Shen, Mr. Shen, Mr. Shen is a detective. He would never commit murder. Probably just picked up the gun at the crime scene to investigate. That's why his fingerprints are on the gun. This gun belonged to the victim and was kept in a drawer in his study. The defendant was indeed found with the gun at the crime scene. That's not true either. Doubt raised. Fingerprints on the gun, but this does not affect the conclusion of this case. The murder occurred between 8 and 8:30 p.m. From 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., only Mr. Shin was seen at the scene. Therefore, no matter how you look at it, the murder can only be the defendant. Are you certain that only Shin entered the scene? There are witnesses who can testify to that. The facts of this case sound relatively clear. Does anyone have any doubts? Rajun has no objections. Really? You're not going to let me defend him at all? I got a couple of things I would like to ask about. If not, we will proceed to the sentencing phase. It's up to Judge Kuhn to decide. I'm good. Played some Sunless Sea. Nice. I need to go back to that. I played it really hard for like 3 days straight, and then I got distracted with something else, and I haven't gone back to it in years. It was such a fun idea. It has a very similar vibe to Dredge. It has a very similar vibe to Dredge, except it's much more difficult. Not just watching a stream and chilling. Nice. Yeah, it's a bit like Dredge. Yeah, it has Dredge energy, but it's a lot harder than Dredge. Dredge, I didn't start dying for a little while until I got into it, but Sunless Sea, you can start dying right away. Is it really going to end like this? Can we debate, like, people hearing the gunshot? Can we debate, like, how he was not at the scene of the crime? Can we debate that the angle of the bullet doesn't really make any sense for being shot on the ground? It would mean he would have to, like, stand over his body and, like, fire downward. Dredge doesn't have much lore, though. Dredge is great, though. Dredge was a lot of fun. I streamed Dredge a while back now, and Dredge was very good. At some point, I'll go back and we'll do the DLCs, because I think there's 3 of them now. There's the ice one, there's the oil rig one, and I think there's a 3rd one. Yeah. Didn't even know that? Yeah, I streamed the base stuff. I might have to go back. Oh, you to talk about the DLCs. Yeah, there's at least 2, and I think there's a 3rd one. Because there's the ice area, there's the oil rig area, and then I think there's a 3rd one. You played the base too? Yeah. Wait a minute. Can he speak up to his own defense? The defense counsel requests to cross-examine the evidence presented by the prosecutor. Cross-examine? Is it necessary? The defense counsel believes it is necessary. Judge Harmon just mentioned the importance of procedural justice. The defendant must have the chance to challenge and refute evidence determined detrimental to the case. Well, what do you think, Judge Herman? Your Honors, I agree to the cross-examination. And let's begin. Koshin, have you found any doubts? Not yet. Well, what should we do then? Try to find any minor inconsistencies and prolong the trial. This is the final verdict that will determine Mr. Shin's fate. Until the last moment, when all options are exhausted, we cannot give up. Inquiry. Find inconsistencies with the evidence. I've already shouted out like 3 of them. The victim, Stone Wu, was shot and killed in the study at the Stone Goods store. The bullet found at the crime scene came from a Colt M1903 pistol. And this pistol, the defendant's fingerprints were found. The gun was the victim's weapon, originally kept in a drawer in his study. The murder occurred between 8 and 8:30 p.m. During 7:30 to 8:30, only Mr. Shin was seen at the scene. Okay. Okay, what am I... Okay, I'm just presenting evidence. Alright. Between 8 and 10, the bullet penetrated the left chest, bruises on the head, signs of binding on the body. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on here, like the binding on the body. He didn't say anything about that. When we saw the predicted trajectory of the bullet when we were investigating inside of the police station as Afu, they projected the bullet coming in from a downward angle, which doesn't make any sense if you shot him on the ground. I still don't know what this is supposed to be, other than maybe the bullet itself. That's a little weird. They said that he was found at the scene of the murder. He was not. He was captured at the theater nearby. Okay, the victim, Stone Wu, was shot and killed in the study at the Stone Foreign Goods store. The bullet found at the crime scene came from a Colt M1903 pistol. On the pistol, the defendant's fingerprints were found. And it was the victim's weapon, originally kept in a drawer in his study. Murder occurred between 8 and 8:30 p.m. Okay, wait. Can I question this? A bullet hole? Just one shot? Yeah. He took one shot to the chest right here. This is a bullet hole. I guess this could be a bullet hole, but then how did it get over here? Why isn't it underneath the body if it the bullet went into the ground? You know what I mean? Because this was supposed to be what the scene looked like before the body was moved. Usually you shoot someone more times to make sure they die. I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, in real life, yeah, but they're trying to make this look like more amateur work. Yeah, I mean what was the saying? I mean, there's the double tap rule, which is 2 to the chest and 1 to the head, and that's more of a combat situation. I want to say there was this old Hitman movie that had oh God, what's his name? Oh, what's his name? Morgan Freeman. It had Morgan Freeman playing an old hitman who was getting ready to retire or something, I think. I don't know, I haven't seen the movie. I don't think I've ever watched the movie, but there was a scene during the commercials where he talks about 3 to the head and they're dead, and it's talking about making sure to shoot people enough times that they actually die. There's no chance they're gonna survive. But there's a lot of other evidence here that's a problem. Okay, the murder occurred between 8 and 8:30. During the 7:30 to 8:30, only Mr. Shin was seen at the crime scene. Okay, on the photo frame. Nope. Let's Coast Guard tip-off letters. 2 predicted that the Shanghai Phantom will commit a theft. Hot performance shows. 7:30 to 8:45. I'm kind of thinking it might have this. Because that was the thing that we found when we found out he was actually at the theater. Not at the crime scene, but that's not really the question here. Stone Foreign's Goods Store. The bullet found at the crime scene came from on the pistol. The defendant's fingerprints were found. Wow, rimless and smokeless. Yeah, I'm very curious about this also. I can only guess that this must be the magazine release down here. Because this is just the bolt to hold the side of the grip on. There's the horses? Yeah, there's the rampant horses or whatever it was called. The gun was the victim's weapon, originally kept in a drawer in the study. The .32 caliber pistol fired only 1 bullet with Shin's fingerprints on it. Definitely marked the match of the pistol with Shin's fingerprints. Caliber of 32. Rifling marks match those on the pistol with Shin's fingerprints. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I feel like we could argue here is the time of the murder. Which I don't know if that's the autopsy or this poster. I guess we'll argue that the autopsy report. There's an issue with this statement. How can Mr. Joseph confirm that the foreign goods store is indeed the primary crime scene? The victim died from a bullet penetrating the left chest and going through into the floor. Okay, so maybe that is the hole in the floor. The position of the bullet hole on the body matches that on the pierced floor. In other words, after the victim was stunned, the culprit shot him fatally, leaving such marks. Therefore, the foreign goods store is undoubtedly the primary crime scene. There's no doubt about this. Oh no, we don't even have a chance to investigate the crime scene. How can we argue? Counsel, the foreign goods store as the murder scene is closely investigated. Please reconsider. Oh, okay. It was the victim's weapon originally kept in a drawer in the study. So, marker between. Okay, maybe it's this? So this seems to be more of a location reference. Is it this? Can't see any contradictions here. Do you have any insights, Judge Harmon? No contradiction between the two statements. If that's the case, the defense still should think again. Okay. Let me try the autopsy here? Okay, the autopsy was the thing. So I was right about the autopsy report. It was just on the wrong clue. Okay. Or the wrong thing to fight or whatever. Although we presented the evidence, but... Shin, can we really do this? Yes, we can. We may not have all the details, but we can still create a strong presence. Defense counsel, why are you presenting this autopsy report? Because the descriptions here are inconsistent. What exactly is inconsistent? After all, the information states the time of death as 8 to 10 p.m. But Mr. Joseph mentioned 8 to 8:30 p.m. Indeed, it is inconsistent. Huh? Oh, it was actually accepted? Well done, Afu. Prosecutor, please explain this issue. The victim had died immediately after being shot. And the reason why we estimated a shortened time of death is that after the defendant was arrested around 8:30 p.m., the pistol was also confiscated by the police. The confiscated weapon cannot be used for murder. The prosecutor's inference is reasonable. I object. The defendant entered the scene around 8 p.m. At that time, there was no one inside the foreign goods store. Defendant, is this the situation at the time? She is right. The prosecutor just stated only the defendant was present at the scene between 7:30 and 8:30. The prosecutor also stated that the murder occurred between 8 and 8:30 p.m. Considering that the foreign goods store only has one entrance, the witness couldn't have only seen the defendant entering the foreign goods store. Then who else should the witness have seen? I mean, the Stone Wu, right? Like, oh, this is the other people filled in. Okay. Stone Wu? The victim? Are you saying the victim? That's right. Mr. Shin went to the store for an appointment that night, but the victim was not in the store. If the witness the prosecutor mentioned has been around the scene all along, and Stone Wu was confirmed to be killed between 8 and 8:30, then the witness should have seen Stone Wu entering the foreign goods store. I object. The counsel's inference is based on the defendant's unilateral statement, and it's questionable. Rather than saying the witness was mistaken, it's more likely that the defendant is lying. I object too. The prosecutor witness testimony is also unilateral. What's the difference between them? Can the defendant's claim have the same weight as the witness's testimony? The defendant even claims he did not commit the murder. Should the court simply believe that? But who can guarantee that the witnesses won't lie, or that she won't omit something? Well, the defendant's testimony should indeed not be trusted, but whether the witness's testimony is true or not also needs to be verified. What do you think, Judge Herman? Prosecutor, bring your witness to the court. Oh yeah, this is full Phoenix Wright mode right now. A few minutes later. Witness, what is your full name and occupation? Oh, it's Miss Liu, or Miss Lee, or whatever. You can just call me Miss Lee, and my occupation, it's It Girl. It Girl is a fact, huh? Witness, in court, you need to provide your full name and real occupation. All of my fans in Shanghai call me Miss Lee. Being an It Girl is my occupation. I'm not lying to you. Not Edgeworth is very upset. It's her. Goshin, do you know the witness? Her name is Lee Tasafu, a writer. She has a column in the newspaper recommending good things. Anything she recommends is guaranteed to be sold out the next day. Is that true? Let me have a look at Miss Lee's column. A stylish nightlife, the cafe in Jingyang may not be deluxe, but exudes excellent charms. Neon lights, great music, fantastic evening. Planned to stay till 9, but had to leave early. This would be a very new style of writing. Very different from what you write. Her knuckles are to package life and show the beauty, while mine aim to expose life and truth. Miss Lee, on the night of September 4th, did you witness the defendant entering the foreign goods store? Sure. Then please tell us about what you saw that evening. I love that he's just back here in the witness box, by the way, with a guard next to him. Like, they don't have him, like, chained to the wall. They don't, like, his hands aren't in handcuffs or rope or anything. He's literally just standing in the, like, the audience. I mean, I'm not a safety specialist, but you might want to take a step or two above hanging out with the audience. Also, what is it? Ten Xian, or whatever her name is here, which is important. She's a witness to know that the place closed early, which means that there's a really good chance she would know that Stone Wu went home and was not there at the time. Testimony. What we witnessed on the evening of the case. On that evening, I was sitting across from the Stone Foreign Goods store, enjoying some kifi. Kifi? Wait, is this a coffee joke? Was she enjoying some kifi? She was enjoying some coffee, wasn't she? It was around 7:50 and I saw Mr. Shin walk into the foreign goods store. Wait, from that direction? We would have been coming from the hotel. Wait a minute. Are you sure that person was Mr. Shin? I'm certain. How can you be certain? I have a natural ability to remember good-looking people. I'd seen him that afternoon in the store foreign goods store. In a different outfit, apparently. I also saw this young man in the defense counsel seat. Witness, please continue describing what you saw and heard that evening. Mr. Shin stayed inside for about 25 minutes, and he came out around 8:15. When he came out, his face was pale, and I wondered what he had experienced inside. After he left, I stayed for a while longer and left the cafe at 8:30. It's about an hour in all. Wait a minute. How come you remember the time so clearly? Because there is a clock across the street. Miss Lee, as a writer, you were busy writing articles while drinking kafifi? You couldn't possibly be focusing watching all the time, right? My dear, when I'm enjoying kafifi, I don't write anything, just simply admiring the scenery. That evening, there weren't many pedestrians. It was rare to come across someone good-looking. I just took a few extra glances. Is it a crime? No, it isn't a crime. Miss Lee, if someone wanted to enter the foreign goods store, would they definitely pass by you? Yes, I was sitting directly across from the foreign goods store. Did you see the victim, Stone Wu, enter the foreign goods store? No, I didn't. Were there any other people who entered the foreign goods store? No, none at all. Miss Lee is really good at saying things perfectly. Nah. By the way, maybe we could talk about this. Shan's Ping's expression. The foreign goods store in the afternoon. This one doesn't make any sense to me. This one seems like maybe the bait. I think this is the real answer. Did you see Mr. Shin at the foreign goods store that afternoon? Yes, I heard that the Stone Foreign Goods Store got some new products. I wanted to try the new recipe for rose water, but it was sold out. That's really frustrating. Then I saw Mr. Shin and the defense counsel boy coming in. By the way, maybe we could talk about this. Oh, okay, I didn't actually get in trouble for that one. Okay, what about his expression? You just mentioned that Mr. Shin didn't look good when he came out. Can you explain in detail? Well, his face was so pale, like a white sheet of paper. There was no trace of color at all. And, you know, he was walking unsteadily, even holding his head. The very pained expression. By the way, maybe could you talk about this? Wait, why do we care about the column? Wait, what? Why is this relevant? Miss Lee, I'm curious. Why did you leave the cafe early after Mr. Shen left the foreign goods store? What kind of question is that? I left the cafe simply because I finished my kafafi. The defense counsel must not ask any questions arbitrarily. That was a weird noise. I'm not asking arbitrarily. Everyone, please take a look at this. A stylish nightlife, this cafe in Jingyang may not be a deluxe, but excludes excellent charms. Rainbow lights, great music, fantastic evening. Planned to stay till 9, but had to leave early. Miss Lee, this is the column you published in the newspaper the next day? It's about what happened at the cafe on the night of the case, right? Yes? You mentioned that you had something else to do, and that's why you left early? What was it? Oh, it's not a secret. I heard the commotion from the other side of the road, and out of curiosity, I went to see it. I didn't expect it to be the police arresting someone, and it was Mr. Shin who got arrested. Did you leave early just because you heard the commotion? Yes, when I was enjoying kefefe, it was quiet around. Once it got noisy, the ambience was ruined. Where did you go after you left? While watching the commotion, I met reporter Chang. He asked me for an interview. So we went to a bar and chatted for over an hour. Oh, by the way, Chang mentioned you to me. What? Hushun, I feel there's something unnatural in Miss Lee's testimony. Tell me more about it. I can't pinpoint it right now, but I remember that in such a case, Shin would compare the testimony with the evidence, finding any contradictions. Let's try this method then. Inquiry. Identify the contradictions in the testimony. That night, I was sitting across from the Stone Foreign Goods store enjoying my kufi. Around 7:50, I saw Mr. Shin entering the foreign goods store. Shin stayed inside for around 25 minutes and came out around 8:15. When he came out, his face was quite pale. I wondered what he went through inside. I sat there for an hour. It's quiet around until I heard the commotion from across the road. During that time, no one else entered or exited the foreign goods store. When he came out, his face was quite pale. I sat there for an hour. It's quiet around until I heard the commotion. So that's... Do I have the thing that says he was arrested at 8:30? So why was she there for another hour? It doesn't look like I have anything that talks about that. This is currently in hot performance, showtime. Formula. Okay. Unless it's the showtime thing proves that it actually wasn't quiet around that time. Mount, his face was quite pale. Also, who called the police to let them know there had been a murder? Or whatever. Well, I guess they arrested him originally just because he had a gun. And then it turns out the gun was related to the murder? Across from Stone Foreign Goods store, enjoying my coffee. Is her article actually in here? No. Okay. Wait, details. There are differences in extraction methods of breaking. Some are extracted from the root bark of Nux voxima and later from its seeds. Like strychnine, brochine is a highly toxic alkaloid, but it has a weaker toxicity and slower poisoning reactions. Furthermore, the detection methods for brochine and strychnine differ, with brochine undetectable by methods used for strychnine. Brochine has a strong stimulating effect on the central nervous system, making extraction significant for medical research and the pharmaceutical industry. Oh, so this is setting up like the other kill method for the brother. Okay. What was the last one? During that time, no one else entered or exited the foreign goods store. His face was quite pale. Yeah, I'm really not sure what they're setting up with this one. They definitely got into the weird stuff now, because I am not sure what they want for a lot of these. He came out, his face was quite pale. Around 25 minutes, and came out at around 8:15. Around 7:50, I saw Mr. Shin entering the foreign goods store. At night, I was sitting... Oh, I wonder if... Came out, his face was quite pale. I wonder what he went through. I wonder if the gun... The fact that she didn't see him with the gun... Yeah, I'm thinking either the gun for one of these two. The foreign goods store. He came out, his face was quite pale. I wonder what he went through inside. The commotion. Yeah, I'm wondering if the gun maybe for this one, or the poster for the times of the show, because it wouldn't have been quiet, maybe? No one else entered or exited the foreign goods store. I'm gonna try the gun here and see what she says. Miss Jimmy mentioned that when she saw Mr. Shin coming out, his complexion was very poor. But if Mr. Shin is the culprit, it shouldn't be him with the bad complexion. It should be the person who was shot with a gun.
Are you winning, son?
Welcome back, Ika? Welcome back, Ika. We're making slow progress. What? Based on your knowledge of the defendant, he has ever been involved in fighting with others? Mr. Shin never resorted to physical violence. He always resolves conflicts through reasoning. Exactly. A person who never engages in conflicts would be at a loss when faced with shooting. Panic, remorse, fear, these emotions would make him restless and bewildered. Well, this cannot be considered as evidence. The defense counsel should think carefully again. Okay. Okay. So, guess we can try the other one, the poster when it's quiet thing. Oh, wait, what? Oh, it saved it here when I made that save? That's odd. For an hour. It's quiet around until I heard the commotion from across the road. In that time, no one else entered or exited the foreign goods store. Okay. Okay, let's try the timing on this. Miss Lee, have you heard the sound of the magic show ending? Not only did I hear it, but I also saw it. That happened after Mr. Shin was arrested. I seem to have misread the timing. Okay. What am I telling you? The rest. Its content is totally nonsense. Tried out Tri-Brigade today. The combos are complex. I've timed out every module trying to do the combos. Oh no! Oh no! Yeah, you're gonna have to master those, I guess. That's an interesting one. That's all I heard, the commotion from across the road. During the time, no one else entered or exited. 25 minutes. It came out around 8:15. Foreign goods store. That night I was sitting across from the stone. Giffy. Around 7:50. Entering the foreign goods store. Shin stayed inside for around 25 minutes and came out around 8:15. Maybe we should change about Shin's arrest. Paper written in English. Has caused serious sensation. Discarded tip-off letters. I have no idea. During that time, I sat there for an hour, quite around until I heard the commotion from across the road. I really have no idea what they want me to do with this one. I might have to pull a hint for the first time. $7.50. I saw Mr. Shin entering the foreign goods store. Mr. Shin stayed inside for around 25 minutes and came out around 8:15. Came out, his face was quite pale. I wonder what he went through inside. Unless this report that was given to Toby Chang. No. Okay. So we called out this. Stayed inside for around 25 minutes. Yeah, we might have to get a hint on this one because I don't even know where to. None of this. For an hour, it's quiet around until I heard the commotion from across the road. During that time, no one else entered or exited the foreign goods store. I'm gonna pull for a hint. I legitimately don't know. Let's see. If the crime occurred when Yangtze was sitting and drinking coffee, she would have noticed something. This content can be significantly impact your modulating experience. She proceeded with caution, hold space to view the answer. Drinking coffee, she would have noticed something. She would have noticed something? Oh, maybe the gun going off? Maybe it's the gun going off? It's the gun going off. Oh. I was wondering about that. I thought maybe they were just going to skip over the sound of the gun, maybe. Okay. Ms. Lee, during the time that you were enjoying your keffi, did you hear any weird noises? Yeah, gun chew. Get out the gat, Pikachu. What kind of sounds do you consider strange? Sounds that would disturb an IT girl's quiet enjoyment of her kufi. I object. This is inductive questioning. I object to your objection. Afu was simply answering the witness's question. Inductive questioning. Oh well, even though I don't quite understand what inductive questioning is, I don't see anything inappropriate about the defense's counsel's statement. I think the defense counsel's question was quite interesting, but it's a pity that I haven't heard such a voice. Not inductive, inducive? Oh, inducive questioning. Oh, inducive questioning. Okay. During that 1 hour of coffee drinking, the surroundings were so quiet. Ah, that's exactly where the contradiction lies. Huh? Mr. Joseph said that the Stone Wu was shot and killed between 8 and 8:30. Since you could hear the noise from the distant street at the time, it's impossible for you to not hear the gunshot from the opposite side. Miss Lee, can you explain what happened?
Words are hard.
They're very hard. Especially when they're flying around on the screen and I'm looking at like 4 things at once. There really was no sound from a gunshot. Your Honor. If the witness is telling the truth, it means that during that time, Mr. Shin entered the crime scene, there was no shooting. Therefore, he couldn't be the murderer. Maybe. Judge Kuhn, is it possible to consider declaring Shin innocent now? No. Miss Wynn, Afu, your reasoning has impressed us to such an extent. But unfortunately, fingerprints, firearms, bullets, the body, and the crime scene form a full chain of evidence. And they all point to the defendant. In this situation, we should not question whether the defendant is the murderer. What? Instead, we should consider, how did the murderer manage to cover the sound of the gunshot? What methods are there to cover the sound of a pistol? Lee, when you were enjoying Kafafi, did you hear any bell ringing? Oh, your guy is the suspect? Yeah, Shin got arrested for having a gun, and then it turned out the gun was used in a murder, and now they think Shin is the murderer. And then the guy who was murdered was the person that had the most recent evidence tied back to her brother's murder. So we're in the Edge-tagonist episode? Yes. Mr. Joseph, our Shin's friend, has now become the Edgeworth of this situation. Miss Lee, when you were enjoying Kafafi, did you hear any bell ringing? Bell ringing? Yes, there's a clock tower across the street. At 8 o'clock, the clock rang many times, loudly. You're accustomed to it, so you didn't find the bell ringing noisy? It seems like it. The pedestrians around are the same. So long as the murderer shoots when the bell rings, it won't attract attention from outsiders. Therefore, Miss Lee not noticing the gunshot doesn't mean that the defendant didn't fire the gun. He even does the little, like, cape wave thing that Edgeworth did. The chain of evidence proving the defendant's murder has been closed. Indeed, Prosecutor Bell lives up to his reputation. The defense counsel cannot find new doubts. The case can be concluded. What should I say next, Koshin? That's a great question. Going to save. I don't know. And I want to be sure. I'm just going to throw a new one in there. The opponent is too powerful. What should we do? This is the final judgment. Win Koshin. Performance in the debate should have given us some room to maneuver in the court. At this point, we can only try everything we can, resort to some disruptive tactics. Even if we ultimately lose, we will fight until the very end. Go and level up some more? Oh my god. That would be... lawyer. I'm a level 9 lawyer. Koshin, how should we go to the disruptive tactics? We should present any viewpoint or evidence that is advantageous to us. Okay. What does that mean? That doesn't tell me anything. What are you talking about? What, like this? What is the connection between the person and this case? There must be a connection, but we need time to think it through. Okay, so not that one. Oh, that's autosave data. Okay. So... just go around and grind some minor cases. Oh, God. That's the funny thing. We're not lawyers, right? We're like a tech specialist and a reporter. Like, we're definitely not doing the job we're meant to do. Okay, so... okay, like this bindings on the body, maybe? The autopsy report showed that Stone Wu was first hit in the head. But Shen neither had the strength nor carried any weapon that could knock him unconscious. Well, indeed, the police did not find any weapon that could knock one unconscious at the scene. But this doesn't affect the conclusion, as the head injury of the victim was not a fatal wound. And while the defense counsel doesn't need to dwell on this, it's better to think from other angles. Okay. Like... No, that's not what we mean. You lose a point. What? What about the binding on his arms? He wasn't bound up, right? No, that's not what we need right now. Lose a point. Gosh darn it. Arrests. I mean, this is kind of disruptive, but I don't know what good that would do us. A note, maybe? Shin went to the Lincoln Theater after seeing this note. The police came shortly after he arrived at the theater. Someone was trying to frame him. Only based on this note can make such a speculation, but it cannot be considered as evidence. Apart from the location, the note does not contain any other guiding words. The defense counsel should think carefully once again. Okay. Okay. So all of these are evidence doing the thing that they're asking me to do. They're just dismissing them because they're not the right one yet. Is it the gun? The gun and the bullet are key pieces of evidence. It's just comparing them again carefully. Police have already conducted a thorough comparison, and the rifling report is very clear. Further would be meaningless except for delaying the proceedings. That's right. The defense counsel should consider some... Okay, not that one. What else are we missing? Also, there's some other stuff, like, why did they have the lockers blocked off at this magic show, but there's no evidence from that at all being used in the actual crime? 2. Some fingerprints. Need some chemical formulas, ingredient ratio. The photo is from the scene of the crime, right? What's the connection between this person and the case? Must be a connection. Okay, so that's not it. Because Afu mentioned that, like, weird, I don't think he had this photo on him before. Where did he get it? So maybe this was inside of the locker, or maybe he took it with him when he left? I don't know at this point. So we use this, we've used this, we've used this, and this. Poster? No, not the poster. Oops. Not that one. That was back at, like, the beginning of the case. am I? What? I don't know. So we did this. Tip-off letters? Just completely random direction? No. Alright, I guess I'll get a hint. Because at least the hint system... Sometimes a profession can indirectly confirm certainty. Wait, that's what they want? They want to know that he's... What? What has this got to do with anything? Judge Kuhn, the defense counsel still has something to say. My client, Mr. Shin Qingping, is a very talented detective. He has solved many cases, including the well-known case in Haiying Ironworks. My client found the truth based on subtle clues at the crime scene in the absence of a dead body. Yes, and he cracked the case within 1 day. That's why the defendant's name looked so familiar. So it's the detective who solved the Ironworks case. How could such a reputable detective end up committing murder? Judge, Shin is a gentle and righteous person who would never commit murder. I do feel something illogical here. Judge Kuhn, in the Qing dynasty, the judges often judge by their feelings. This is indeed incorrect. The defendant's profession should not change the determination of their criminal acts. We should rely on evidence and logical reasoning. I guess. Counsel, please examine. Is there any connection between the Haiyun case and this murder case? Huh? The connection is... It is... Well, we still have a missing British guy. Connection is, of course, Mr. Shen. Think about it. Mr. Shen was able to solve the difficult case in Haiyun, which means he's a smart detective. Relevance? Relevance? It is impossible as a smart detective like Mr. Shin would be easily caught if he committed murder. Right, there is indeed a doubt. Detective committing murder. Easily caught. Smart detective. He was easily caught. Detective committing murder. Smart detective. Easily caught? I think is where they're going with this. Everyone, there's a major doubt here. Mr. Shin was arrested because he was seen in the theater carrying a pistol. Mr. Shin was arrested at 8:30 in the evening, just a few minutes after he left the scene. And according to Mr. Joseph's claim, Mr. Shin used the sound of the clock to cover the gunshot. Isn't it contradictory that Mr. Shin, as Mr. Joseph claims, differs from the one arrested? What? If Mr. Shin really used a gun to commit the murder, why would he expose it before a large crowd? He may have thought of covering the gunshot sound, but didn't think of hiding the gun itself? Koshin. Order. Defense counsel, your perspective is quite interesting. Please continue. Sure. The victim's body was found by a female store assistant the next morning after the crime. Only after the store assistant found the body did the police receive the report. Yet, they were able to arrest Mr. Shin in advance as if they had foreknowledge. The timing of the murder and Mr. Shin's arrest are almost seamlessly aligned. Isn't that too coincidental? Unless someone deliberately framed Mr. Shen? Mr. Joseph, can you respond to these doubts? Your Honor, Mr. Shin's arrest at the theater was not purely coincidental. At the time, the gun was not completely exposed either. So, can you present evidence regarding the process of Mr. Shin's arrest for cross-examination? The murder weapon and the bullets, also the crime scene? I want to investigate everything. The requests are reasonable, and we will cooperate. As the prosecutor, I also hope that this case can be thoroughly investigated, leaving no doubt. But the actions of the police at the theater on the night of the crime involved another case. That case is classified, and it would take some time to retrieve the case files. Okay, so did we reschedule the trial then? Well, I'm being paid a lot of money, so no. Really? Yes? I announce a temporary suspension of the trial of Shin Chungping, accused of murdering Stone Wu. The trial will resume in 2 days. Wow, that's way different than Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright would have 100 went, nope, we gotta do this today. Why? Because I have lunch in 20 minutes. Your performance in the courtroom was impressive. Luckily, my heart was in my throat when the judge made the final statement. No matter what, we managed to seize the opportunity to examine the evidence and revisit the scene. As long as we can find a new breakthrough, there is still a chance of winning in the next trial. You've gone to all this trouble for me. Let's save your appreciation till we win the next trial. However, speaking of which, Mr. Shin, did you really not see anyone during your 20-minute stay at the foreign goods store? No. And it's strange indeed. Police have confirmed Stone Wu was indeed shot and killed in the study of the store. Okay, hold on. He was shot, and then the bullet hole was put into the ground. Miss Lee, sitting across from the store, didn't see anyone else entering except you. If Stone Wu was neither inside the store nor ever went in, then could it be possible for a body to appear at the crime scene out of thin air? No, the body was just dropped off at like 9:15, and they just faked the bullet hole going into the ground. The layout of the store is clear, with 2 rooms, one for business and the other for bookkeeping. At that time, both rooms were empty with no one inside. Then how did the body appear as soon as Shin left? This is indeed very strange. The body appeared out of nowhere. Afu, we need to go to the crime scene and search it thoroughly. Sorry, the visiting time is over. I must take Mr. Shin back now. Afu? Do you have any instructions, Shin? I just had a weird thought go in my head. Kinda. Huh? There could be obstacles and dangers on the path of your investigation. Take care of yourself. No problem. Shin, remember to eat on time, take care, and be sure to hold on until the next trial. Okay. They have a really interesting relationship. Alright, let's look at some of this other stuff. Let me see. Facts? What do we got for facts down here now? Oh yeah, the It Girl thing. It Girl describes a young woman who is considered to possess the indefinable qualities that make her exceptionally popular, stylish, and socially appealing. In the Chinese context, the term It Girl / socialite first appeared in the novel The Secret History of the Two Jin Dynasties, referring to a famous and beautiful woman. In the late Qing Dynasty, 1912, which, okay, maybe this is 1912 then. I was thinking this was in the 1920s, but I guess maybe this is only like 1910 then or something? It has to be after 1903 and before 1912. So, in that time frame, right? And early Republican era, with the changing gender norms, It Girl / socialite emphasized qualities of a character and talent. In a broader sense, it can refer to the prominent woman in the elite class. So, a blogger. Yeah, this is just a trend. What do they call those these days? This is just a... Well, like a trendsetter used to be, but, Oh god, what's the technical term? It's the thing technically I guess I'm wanting to be right now by doing this. An influencer. She's an influencer. Can she be the next victim, please? I mean, she's dead. Or are you talking about the lady, the Miss Lee? I guess it could be. Miss Lee could be the next one. You're not wrong. She could be the next victim. Let's see. Inducive questioning, also known as suggestive questioning, refers to the method of questioning where the questioner uses suggestive queries to narrow down or manipulate the respondent's answers. Common methods include repetitive questioning, enforcing limited options, and proposing specific viewpoints. For example, when the fact that the defendant bought a knife is still to be proven, asking the defendant, "Did you buy the knife intending to kill him?" treats the act of purchasing a knife as an established fact and restricts the respondent's answer to either yes or no. This is a classic example of inducive questioning. Okay. So, okay, I mean, this is still... Alright, I don't know if this is... It's definitely not illegal now. This is definitely a thing they still do. Yeah. This is like... Okay, I mean, I guess you just call it that. That's fine. That's fine, I guess. Alright, so I think we're entering the next stage of this, and I don't want to get 10 minutes in and then have to call it, so... We're gonna wrap it up a little early. Yeah, we're still past 3 hours, so we're good. Is there anything important in here? Fingerprints on the gun. Handgun belongs to Stone Wu, but only Shin's fingerprints are found on it. Mr. said the gun belonged to Stone Wu, yet only the fingerprints were found on it. What's going on exactly? They find an opportunity to go through investigating that gun. See, I think what's going on with the gun is this bullet was fired from this gun and was found in the floor of the store, right? But we don't know that this was the bullet, the same bullet that actually killed this guy. All they do is shoot the gun or whatever into the ground. Or just shoot this bullet beforehand, right? Shoot him through his body that's unconscious on the floor after Shin's been arrested. Just coincidentally. And then they just take the old bullet out and drop the new bullet in, and it ties into this gun. Right? Like, they don't know that this bullet is the bullet that actually went through his body in this instance. So that's how you fake the bullet thing. And that way this bullet could have been fired 2 months ago and still ties back to this gun, and then they just drop it into the same bullet hole. There's a lot of coincidental stuff, I think, that worked in the murderer's favor on this one to, you know, for it to be such a clean cover-up. It's definitely the case. Yeah, it's the only thing that makes any sense. Like, there's a lot of stuff, like, because obviously, if the bot, we're assuming Shin isn't lying to us, because that would be insane. But, so he walks in, right? Nothing's going on at 7:50. He leaves at 8:15 to go over to the theater, where he gets arrested because they're there guarding the theater because they think the Phantom Thief's going to show up. After he leaves the store, why did he make the face then? I don't know. They haven't explained why he was freaking out after he found the note or whatever. They haven't explained that part yet. He even says, like, I don't remember, like he was having some kind of PTSD moment, but there's no indication that anything happened to him that would cause that. He's seen something? Maybe. Maybe he did see the body and he had a PTSD moment and, like, freaked out. And he just kind of sat down and then he saw the note and his brain just triggered and he ran off. Could it have been the evil Shen? That would be insane. That would actually be really interesting. Or a ghost? I mean, that would be awesome. But no, I don't think so. Because they set up the scene with the goatee guy, Joseph Bell's dad, Watson Bell. They set him up as the villain. He was talking to someone, so they wanted to get rid of Stone Wu so that he couldn't give information to Shin about his brother's death, right? So what they do, I'm assuming, is Shin shows up at 8, he leaves, there's a witness that sees him leave, then they come back later when no one's paying attention, drop his body off. I'm assuming the other thing is his body, he could have very easily just been in a cabinet somewhere. They've established that hiding a body in a cabinet is pretty easy to do in this universe. So then someone comes back later when no one's paying attention, right? Shoots him with a gun at 9 o'clock instead when the bells are still going off, pulls the new bullet out and drops this old bullet into the bullet hole. Now it looks like this bullet was used to kill him from here. Also, that we haven't talked about the angle of the bullet yet. Because the little bit we saw of the angle of the bullet for a second while Afu was looking at it makes it look like the person would have had to have been like over, like standing above his head and shot kind of down at a weird angle. But that doesn't make any sense for where the bullet hole is. So that's another weird thing that I don't know if it's actually going to come up or not. I don't know. There's a lot of weird evidence for this one. This is going, they're doing some interesting stuff with this for sure. Alright, we can probably just save over that one. That's the oldest one, so. Alright. But yeah, I think this is an interesting one. They have a lot of stuff to do. I didn't really like the detective angle there, but I do like the way that they're doing the tips or the hints or whatever, where they don't just give you the hint. They're like, here's what we're asking for if you think you can figure it out with a more direct question. And I can most of the time. I haven't actually had to use the hint button to actually give me the answer yet, luckily, thank God. The hint system works very well. I'm actually very happy with this hint system. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, which is here's a very light hint. We're gonna reframe what we expect for the answer here. Can you figure it out now? It's like, oh, yes, I can. Thank you. Because sometimes I am not 100% sure what they're asking for. Like, I have no idea how that last one of his job had anything to do with the line of thought that was going through the actual dialogue at the time. But then the hint was, well, sometimes your job has something to do with the kind of person you are. And I'm like, okay. I don't know. It's been interesting. It's been interesting. I'm curious to see where they go with it. The only thing that feels weird is it almost feels like they're not going to give an ending to this story. Like they're planning on making a sequel. And I don't know if that's the case. I'll play the sequel if they make one because I really like this one so far, but I can't tell if they're going to actually set up an ending here or if they're going to try to set up a sequel or something. We'll see. Lurkers, thank you. You have the Twitch row go round. We always appreciate you. Anybody who checks the VODs here on Twitch or checks the VODs in the YouTube repository, also greatly appreciated. Seeing those numbers helps keep me motivated. If you need a well thought out solution, you need Thinking Solutions. Raven Hilbrook Inc. Thinking Solutions. And that's going to be it for me, everyone. Yeah. I hope you all have a good rest of whatever you're up to. And yeah, I think that'll be it. Bye.